Hello and welcome to another episode of Podcast 572. As always, I'm your host, Kyle, joined by my friends Dan and Matt. And I have been playing a little bit of Crimson Desert.
Good. This is the game I wanted you to play first and then tell me
you wanted me to play it first so you can tell
I can buy it at.
I don't know if I can answer price point yet.
Right.
Because I've only played probably 4 hours of it. Because I started it Thursday night when it launched, and then I was out of town Friday and Saturday, and I played a little bit today. This game has one of the worst first impressions of a game I've ever seen. Like, I'll preface this by saying I like the game. So, while I'm going to talk about a lot of negative aspects about the game, I overall like the game and am enjoying my time with it. But if you are not prepared, and like, I didn't watch a lot of stuff of this game going in. Like, I had seen a couple videos, but it generally was something that interested me. And when you get to a certain point, it's like, I don't need to see anymore.
Right.
And so I didn't watch a lot of stuff, but we'll start with saying it has what I would consider a bad control scheme. There is no way to change the button mapping in the game at all right now as it stands. Wow. They probably will change that at some point, but not. You can invert the controls though. So
okay, good.
But that's
if you couldn't, I'm out.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the only thing you could do. So, the first hurdle for me was jumping. And there's in the first hour tutorial, there is a lot of platforming. And so how you jump in this game, and I'm playing on a PS5 Professional. I will point out this game is another good PS5 Pro game. So we're finally doing it in 2026 between this and Resident Evil, because I have seen this game running on a base PS5 and it looks kind of rough in comparison. So there is definitely a difference. So jumping. So that was probably my first what the fuck moment of this game. So to jump, you have to hold L1 if you're on a PlayStation controller. And then you have like a little cursor that comes up. And you have to aim where you want to jump, like within a certain distance, and then press square while you're holding L1 to jump.
I have to
That's wild.
Aim to jump.
Yes.
That's insane.
And the first time I did, I just sat there and I was like, this can't be right. Like, I should be able to we've solved this issue in video games over the last 20 years. Like, I would say control scheme, it plays like a game from 20 years ago where open worlds were first new and we were just learning how to maybe create controls for this type of game.
These kinds of worlds. Yeah.
There are some parts of it that work fine. Like combat works fine, but traversal is not great in this game. You also do the same thing for jumping as you do for talking about 90% of the time, not all the time. This is another problem I have with the game. So you have to hold L1 and then press square to interact with anything in this game, be it talking, picking shit up off the ground, whatever, but not all the time. You will have certain moments in the game where all of a sudden you'll be walking and you can just press square and pick something up off the ground. So I don't know why 90% of the time you have to hold L1, but there's a 10% chance you don't. It's really bizarre. And I struggled into that more today than I did the other day when I was playing. But I'll say just right off the bat, the controls take some getting used to.
I was going to say, can we back up a second? And what the fuck is the point of the game?
It's nonsensical.
Okay.
So let me explain.
Because even as someone who was like, I don't want to know too much about it before I play, I feel like they purposely didn't even tell anyone about what the story was.
I will tell you anything I tell you about the beginning of this game, because I in order to explain it, I will spoil the tutorial of the game. It's so nonsensical, it doesn't matter. So you play as a character named Cliff with a K.
Oh,
so probably had to differentiate him from
Clive
from FF or Clyde.
Clyde from 16.
Mm-hmm. He is what's known as a gray. I think it's a gray mane is what he's called. He's kind of like a Witcher, basically, except he doesn't have magical powers. He's just like a swordsman.
We don't know yet.
We'll get to that. When you start the game, the first tutorial is the combat. And you fight a guy, you fight a group of people, and it's an overwhelming amount of people. It's too many people that you're fighting. Because I was like, as it was happening, I was like, you probably are going to get killed on purpose. That's probably how this game starts, which is exactly what happens. This guy fucking kills you, slits your throat, and throws you in this river. That's how this game starts. And then the next thing is you magically wake up and you're alive. And they don't this is it is not explained that,
like, the river brought you back to life or something like that.
It is not explained, at least in the tutorial. And I'm sure that's part of the point of the game is you'll get an explanation for how you're alive. But so far, it has not been explained that I've seen how I'm fucking alive. You're just all of a sudden you wake up and it's like, oh, I'm alive now. There's instead of there's obviously a fantasy element in this game, but it's also more like leaning towards sci-fi instead.
Okay.
So it reminds me of like Assassin's Creed and the Apple and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
except in this game, it's a cube. So
of course,
there's like these cube
things. It's gotta be a cube.
It wants to be so many different things. So it's like it's partially The Witcher. There's a lot of Breath of the Wild in this game, and especially in terms of its exploration. Because the second part of that is then you eventually get up to what I will call like the Sky Temple world. It reminds me of Tears of the Kingdom, basically. So you're way fucking up in the sky. That's where the platforming comes in, where it's like, oh, you have to do a lot of that jumping in the tutorial. Then and I think I described this to you on Thursday when I texted you, is like you meet a woman who is like a white bird, but then she turns into like, I would call her like a female version of Gandalf, essentially.
Okay.
And she gives you a power that you can fly. And it looks like you're kind of turning into like some weird crow thing when you fly, but your stamina is not good enough yet. So I learned the hard way, because basically you do this puzzle in the sky. This puzzle is terrible, by the way. This is the first puzzle you do in the game. I had to look it up because I sat there and I could not for the life of me figure out, how am I supposed to climb up this thing to get to this thing? And I just Googled it. I'm like, how do you blah, 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 get in this thing? The first video that pops up is like, most people stop playing this game here. This was on Thursday.
Oh, boy.
And I laughed. I'm like, oh, man, we're really in it now. I finished that puzzle, and then she gives you that ability to fly, and you basically get kicked off this platform, and you're just free falling in the sky. And I'm like, cool, whatever. So I go to do that. Didn't realize that this is when I first learned I had a stamina bar for flying. So I used that. And I just fell to my fucking death. And I was like, okay, we're really starting. So the second time I free fall for a long time, then used it a split second at the end to land on the ground. So I land on the ground. You're supposed to keep walking, and then it plays a cutscene, but I didn't know that. So where I landed in the game on the ground, and this is where the open world aspect of the game comes in, there's a guy that I'm clearly can go talk to, and he'll give me like a quest. So I didn't know that when I fell to the ground, I'm supposed to walk a certain way. It's going to trigger a cutscene. So I see this guy. I'm like, okay, it says I can get a quest from him. I go to talk to this man. So I walk up to him, hold L1, press square to have a conversation. The guy literally, it goes into a little cutscene mode where it brings up the black bars like I'm going to speak to the guy.
Yeah.
Guy looks at me. He just fucking walks away. And I just sat there like, what is happening in this game? And I turned around, then it played the actual cutscene for like what I was supposed to do next. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like it's janky like that in a weird way. But as I have played it, it has grown on me. Like,
okay.
I have enjoyed it more as I play.
Let me ask you some more about what you've played so far.
Okay.
Is it so now that you're at this point? 4 hours.
There is one other thing I need to say.
Go ahead. Right,
okay.
Go ahead.
One of the early things you do, so I would tell you it's still tutorial. Like it has me doing different side quests, but each one of these side quests are like basically telling you how to do something in a tutorial way. One of them is you have to go into a tavern and arm wrestle someone. The problem is the quick time event, like it's one of those where it's like a circle and then it spins around. It only spins one time, and then it'll show you where you're supposed to hit X to match it up, right? The color scheme they use is so horrible. It took me 6 times because I could not see it. And I'm not colorblind.
Oh.
And I'm just like, what is this was the second time I text my buddy. He's like, no, this is bad. Like I had the same issue. That's why I actually stopped playing right now. I'm like, okay. So it's not just me. I've not arm wrestled someone again in the game for that reason, because I'm just like, man, they need to patch this or give me an ability to change the color of that, because it's literally black on black and then a little bit of white. It's like it's really hard to see. But where I'm at in the game now is just kind of doing side quests and still kind of learning.
So that's where you're at now. Is
Yeah.
What is the are you free to go anywhere now, or are you gated?
I think I'm probably gated to a certain part. So the map of this game is huge.
Because that's where I'm getting at. And because like the selling point of this was every other map in a video game can go fuck itself. We have this map.
Yeah. If I were to get on my horse and just start riding, I think I could probably ride around the world now if I wanted to. It doesn't seem like there's anything that would really gate me off from doing anything. It's just the game
that
just
being
has
said, though,
weird design choices.
So that being said, though, does it feel empty? Like
no.
Because it doesn't. One of the gripes I had with like Breath of the Wild when I originally played it was like there's a whole lot of nothing in that game, like a ton of nothing. In that
game, a lot of it was the limitations of the Switch itself.
I get that, but if you're going to tout a world that's you can look at this mountain and you can go there, but there's nothing to do in between. That's a problem.
Oh no, I will say like so the first like major town you get to, there is a ton of stuff you can go talk to this person, that person. But even where I am right now, like for example, one of the last things I just did, I just finished a quest and I got on my horse and I was going to go ride to do this next side mission. I even ride like 2 feet. And I just found 2 random dudes just tied up on the side of the road.
Yeah. Okay. So
and
that's
I'm like,
the kind
what the fuck's
of stuff
going on
I'm
here?
interested in.
Yeah. And I was like, I let them go. They were like, thanks. And I still don't know what that was about. So I didn't investigate it further.
Just something to do.
Okay. Yeah. No, there is stuff to do. Like so far, I'll say like the world feels very full of things to do. There's a lot of NPCs and stuff that you can interact with. So, another of the systems and the controls and the mechanics and stuff, another gripe I have with the game. This game has what I would describe to you as like the Batman detective mode.
Okay.
But it is a helmet you put on that has like 2 antennas. And
interesting.
The way you have to put this thing on. So like you will get into situations where like, okay, go explore this cave. Okay, I go explore this cave. I get in there. And it has that like Batman detective mode when you get in there of like, okay, you can put on this helmet and see this memory fragment of what these people were doing in here.
Okay.
Okay, sounds fine. But in order to activate that, when you go in there, you have to go into this menu, pop on the helmet, and then while you pop on the helmet in the menu, you have to click on the helmet, go into the sub menu for that helmet, and then click play. And then from that menu, select the correct thing to play.
This seems really bad.
Exactly. Where I'm like, why couldn't I just pop the helmet on and it shows me right there?
This really just seems, it really feels like, and now that you've played it,
cumbersome.
Well, it just feels like it is, we like these 12 video games. What if we made these 12 video games one
That's
video
exactly
game?
What it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, like, that kind of sounds like it's just pieces and parts of everything.
And again, I've only played 4 hours of it, so I've seen a lot. Like again, I've seen the reviews for the game are all over the place. There's some positive ones. There's some really negative ones. I would tell you from what I've played so far, I don't think the IGN 6 out of 10 is wrong. So like I can understand it. I haven't gotten to any because the game supposedly also has some pretty crazy difficulty spikes. There is no difficulty slider. It's just one difficulty. I have not gotten to any combat situation where I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous yet. Because he even got to a boss today where you have to, this dude so like this is another example of random shit that happens. Like you're walking in the town, this one knight is just like, hey, you're a gray mage. I'm going to challenge you to a duel. And that's one of the boss fights. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this. It was fine. And as you keep going, you keep learning different moves too. So like, I don't know if you've seen this. If you want a real good laugh, look up the like physical like hand-to-hand combat moves you can do in this game. One of them is straight up just a fucking RKO.
Oh, sure.
I'm not kidding when I tell
you. All right, you sold me. I want the game now.
You could do an RKO on people. You can do a fucking Brock Lesnar. What is not the F5, but the other one? You know what I'm talking about?
The suplex?
The suplex. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. You can do a suplex. Like those are fucking crazy. And I have seen some good like videos on just that shit where you can max that out and it just looks ridiculous. Where like you'll run into a battle where there's a bunch of guys with swords and he just runs in RKO, and like just keeps doing it over and over again. So it just like, why would they throw that in the game? There's a lot of that in this game where it's like, I don't know why this has this in there, but sure, whatever. Like I said, I've only been able to play 4 hours of it thus far, so I'll have more to say on it next time. But like, I can't give you an answer on like. I would tell you. Oh, here the answer I'll give you right now is I would not buy the game at $70. That's what I would tell you.
Shocker.
But let me get into it more, and I'll give you a value. Okay. Of like, should it be 30?
Because it's definitely something I think I want to at least like mess around in and play. But if I'm only willing to like mess around, I'm not spending anywhere near 70. I was joking with a friend, and I said something like, because he was getting it too. He's like, "What are your thoughts?" I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, I think I'm in at like 30." And he's like, "Well, probably won't be 30 for a while." And I was like, "Brother, like, you forget. I worked video game retail for 15 years. I know the patterns.
I think by June it could be 35.
I know the type of game it is. I know realistically it's probably going to sell really well out of the gate, and then it won't sell again. So it probably will hit 30. We're in March now. I could see it July, August. I could see it being 50 pretty quick.
I think
and then it'll go back up to 70, and then it would probably hit 40 probably sometime around July. And maybe by the time I even have time to play it in September or something, I could get it for $30. I got Metal Gear I got for $30. Not even 6 months.
They did some crazy flash sales
like,
on that.
That went crazy too, and that's a game that's
it did.
Incredibly popular, a good game. So
yeah,
I don't know. Crimson Desert just feels like one of those things too, where like it'll always be an oddity of like somebody took a big swing to try to make something crazy.
That's probably the thing I appreciate about it most. It is its own, like these people made their own engine. So it's not an Unreal game. It's not like it's its own engine for better or worse. And I have like just playing the game, I have an appreciation for this is a new thing that these people tried to make. It's not pulling from some existing franchise. It's not based on like a book or a movie or anything like that. It's its own thing. But it is definitely pulling influences from like 12 different things that have done it better in whatever way in which they're pulling it in, be it Breath of the Wild, Witcher, Red Dead, whatever you want to pull it in. I can't say, at least, and again, I'm only 4 hours in, but I can't say there's one simple thing I look at and go, okay, the combat of this game is better than what they're trying to go for. The only other thing as far as the controls, I'll say what it reminds me of, and this may make or break you on playing the game, it almost reminds me like they are going for a cross between like Dark Souls combat and newer Assassin's Creed. So like Odyssey and those ones. Sure. That's what the combat feels like. It has that same like block and parry system that Assassin's Creed does. But in terms of like targeting different enemies, I don't think it's as smooth as, and that's like every single aspect of the game. You could be like, okay, a lot of these puzzles feel like Breath of the Wild puzzles. They're not as smooth as Breath of the Wild puzzles. Like that's the same. You can literally interject that in like every aspect.
It's just going to be not quite as good as the game they're trying to imitate for every possible thing.
I will say, I think that the voice acting in the game is actually pretty good. The problem is that the story is nonsensical. Like explaining all of those things to you that I've seen thus far, I have no fucking clue what's going on in this game. I still don't know why this dude's alive. Like, I don't know why he's alive. I don't really know that, like, they didn't do a good job of explaining, like, what's the battle, why this antagonist wanted to kill him. And the funny thing, too, is, like, your guy doesn't even really have that big of a revelation of, like, oh, I'm not dead. Like, it's really bizarre.
It's like, oh, cool.
It's also never a question again, like, or brought up, like, who killed him or anything. So, I don't know. It's, like, putting all those things aside, I find myself enjoying it. So. As I play it, so I will play more.
Most you can ask for, I guess.
Yeah, I'll have more to say. It came out at a good time because I don't have anything until the end of May. I have Lego Batman 2, which I didn't think I put in the news, but Lego Batman moved up a week, and then Bond are the two things I have next.
I think Bond is my next, like, real anything.
Like big games. I don't have anything else. I'm interested in that. Mega Man Star Force collection, but I won't buy it.
No.
That'll be when it's like $20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the other two things that have occupied my time as we've talked about many times.
These are the things I'm more interested in than Crimson
More
Desert.
interesting. Yeah, now you're really interested.
Yeah, now I'm in.
We've talked about many times in the podcast, we want somebody to make a VHS rental store simulator. 2 of them came out within a week of each other.
Yeah.
I will say, I played the same amount of time on both these games. So I played about 9 hours of both. There is one that is currently better than the other, but it is also important to note one of them is not an early access game and one is. So, of the 2, so there's Retro Rewind and there's and this is where it gets confusing. So there's Retro Rewind and there's Rewind 99. Rewind 99 is the one that has. So the first positive I'll say about both games is they both have a unique art style. They're not games that are made in
One's
Unity.
More like cartoony. Yeah.
They're both cartoony, but one is specifically like going for that 90s Nicktoons
like Doug
aesthetic. Yeah. It looks like Doug. It literally looks like you're in the cartoon Doug. That game, and they're both different. Like that game has a town you can explore. The problem is there's not much to do in the town.
That's the early access game, right?
That is the early access game, Rewind 99. That game is clearly set in 1999. And that game makes some odd decisions and choices that I haven't seen in simulator games before. So while you can close and open your store, the clock never stops.
Okay.
So like all these other simulator games, it's like, okay, when you start your day, the clock starts when you open. So
right,
you have
because they want you to do.
Time.
There's other things to do in that. For
in
that
this game,
right?
the clock never stops, and it has a day and night cycle. So, that's a little odd. I learned that the first time I went to go close the store. I was like, oh, the clock's not stopping. So, and you can have. So basically, that game I ran the store as a 24/7. You know, by the time I had done, and the thing is, like, at around that 9 to 10 hour mark, I had pretty much seen enough of what the game offers now. My biggest gripe with that game, and the reason that I kind of stopped playing it, and these 2 games are wildly different in this way too, but specifically for Rewind 99, you unlock different tapes that are parodies of 90s and early 2000s movies like Austin Powers, Men in Black, and so on. Mm-hmm. You unlock those at different levels as you level up like your experience bar in the game. But in that game, you can then have like an entire shelf of, okay, this is this movie, this is that movie. The other one, it's broken up by genre, but then they're all different unique tapes. The problem with Rewind 99 is that when you get to the point that you can staff up the store and you can have people restock, there is no option like other simulator games do this, where you can toggle like, okay, only stock the like item on each shelf. That does not exist in Rewind 99. So when you have a store that's full of toys, candy, and VHS tapes, and then you go to have somebody stock it, they will put anything anywhere there's an open spot, and it just leads to chaos. So that right there has led me to be like, okay, so I can still hire. So I have like 2 cashiers and I have someone that works the rewind station for the tapes, but I have to be the stocker. Otherwise the store is going to be fucked up. So I got to a point where I'm like, I'm kind of tired of doing that. So the one thing that game does that's unique from the other one, which we'll get to in a minute, is you can make like a station, and that at some point you unlock like the basement's place, and that's where I threw it. But you could take 2 of these tapes of the fake movies, throw them into the station, and it will generate another unique fake tape. But those are exclusive to your video store.
Yeah.
So then people will come. It reminds me of that movie, Be
cool.
Kind, Rewind. That's kind of what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing here. The other thing I like about that game is you can get different legal and illegal vendors. So, like, for example, I have an illegal vendor that sells candy that may or may not influence people to spend more money in the store.
Okay.
And he has like a gumball machine. And then the other vendor I have, it's not really a vendor for the store, it's a vendor for you, but basically he will go and hunt down people. He's a bounty hunter that will go and hunt down people that have late fees.
Okay.
And get the late fees for you in the tapes. That's pretty good.
Some fun stuff going on.
Yeah, and then when you explore the town, it has all sorts of different references. Like, for example, the only thing that's in the town right now, other than there's like this looming threat of like a equivalent to Redbox, So every once in a while, those will pop up, and you have to go beat those down with a baseball bat, and it stops these people from being mind controlled to go there, and then they'll come back to your radio store. But in the town, they have different references. Like I was on my little scooter in one area, and I saw like a sewer drain that had like it's supposed to be supposed to be your buddy Pennywise, like stuff like that. That game's fun, but it needs work. Retro Rewind, which is, in my opinion, the better of the two games, and the one I would say if you're looking for this kind of game, this is the one to get right now. I do think, and it surprisingly does not say this on the Steam page, or I couldn't find it, but I do think that they're using some sort of AI generation for the tape covers. They have to be.
Yeah.
Because each one is almost unique. You will get like some that look a little similar, but it definitely looks like AI generated art. It's whatever at this point, because I've seen that in other simulator games too. But this is the better of the two games. So this is more, there's not a town to explore. It's just you have a rental store, but there's a lot more shit going on in it. It's a lot more focused about running the rental store. What I do like about it that's unique to other simulator games is there's situations that at least from the simulator games that I've played, you don't deal with these. Like you can get customers that get fucking pissed when they have to pay a late fee, and they'll just throw the tapes at you and storm out.
That's good.
Dealing with shitty staff. Like I have the woman that I have right now as the cashier. She has come in hungover, so she'll have to keep running to the bathroom. She'll come in and complain about you can either choose to give her a raise or not. Like there's stuff like that's unique where I don't really see that in other simulator games. Other ones are just kind of like, hey, go do this job, and they do it and you don't worry about them. Right. This game, you have to kind of keep tabs. I only have one staff member because for whatever reason right now, the way the skill tree works, you don't get to level 20 to unlock a second person. But the only other position is literally rewind station, where you have to rewind tapes or put tapes out and stock them.
Okay.
And like I said, this one different from the other one. It's genres, so each shelf is a genre. So like you can have a horror shelf, fantasy shelf, action, and all of that. I just think it's a better game. There's this one too. There you can get adult tapes. There's an illegal vendor that will come every Tuesday and Thursday. He shoves a note under the back door, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm out in the back alley." He sells porno tapes.
Good to know. Does the game have the same kind of thing where it's like you can make the store bigger over time, and then you can add, okay, it has that kind of cycle.
And you can also build the shelves out to make them like aisles and stuff. Like that's what I've been working on in the game right now. So when you get to higher levels, you can actually build an arcade in there as well.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. That's I think I'm level 12, and I think that you have to be level 18 to get the arcade. So I'm not there yet, but there's also different broken down machines. Like, so when you get to a certain level, there's a slushy machine, and you can repair it when you get to like level 3 or whatever. Then there's a popcorn machine. You have to repair that, and then you can use it, and that's level 5. And then the one I just unlocked is a cotton candy machine. So that is something that the cashier will have to do as well. Like somebody will come up and be like, "Hi, I want to rent these 3 tapes. Oh, I want a slushy." And there's different flavors. But the funny thing is, so there's different flavors for the slushies, but sometimes they'll actually ask you to make one with all the flavors, which I think is kind of funny.
I like that.
Yeah. Like there's enough uniqueness in this game going on, and a lot more. It's really more about running the store than trying to throw all these other outside elements. There are people that will call the store, want you to reserve tapes. On the calendar, there are different days that will have a new release. People will break tapes. If somebody breaks the tape, you basically have to throw it away, and then it puts a fee on their account.
Okay.
You can. That's the other thing that's good too. So like when you get to the point that you have a cashier, like they will literally ask to talk to you as the manager.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't happen all the time. Like it's unique enough where it doesn't happen every time either. Sometimes they just get pissed off and they throw the tapes and walk out. A lot of times they're just like, "Hey, whatever." The only thing that's weird in this game in comparison to the other one is, like I said, it has a more realistic look, but the character faces are very cartoony.
I don't like their eyes.
Their eyes are weird. They're weird.
Yeah,
I will give that to
really
you.
Creepy.
Yeah, they're fucking weird as shit. There is one guy that looks like Where's Waldo though, and I think that's funny. There's another guy that looks like Doc Brown. But it's like overall, it's good. When there's a new release day too, if you buy at least 5 of those tapes, those are the only tapes you can buy multiples of. Is when there's a new release, just like it would be at a Blockbuster. You can buy multiples of that. If you buy at least 5, they'll give you a cardboard standout you can put up to like promote it. It is the better, like of the 2 games, it is the better one, and the one I will easily see putting a lot more time into.
The other one has multiplayer though, right?
I want to say that one does have multiplayer.
The other one, which is
the
99,
Rewind 99.
Because I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun if in like a year.
The thing is, I don't know if it's out yet.
Time to like be out and update and take care of shit. I think that'd be fun for us to play. Like
I'm checking down to see because it does say it has online co-op. I think it might be. I thought it was something that was coming.
Maybe
to it though.
Maybe it's part of the full release.
Okay. I know the other one doesn't, and I guess that would be maybe a downfall of that one. But they, like I said, I don't think you can necessarily go wrong with either. But I think that Retro Rewind is the more complete experience right now.
Okay.
And there is I don't know if there's a demo for Rewind 99, but there is a demo for Retro Rewind. So
there's a demo for both because I downloaded them both. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they both have demos, so you can at least try them and see how they run and stuff. I will say they both run really well. I haven't had any like crashes or anything like that, or any weird things go on with them. That's so good. They both have run.
Yeah, I think they both look fun. Like I hope that's the kind of thing where, like I said, it's cool that you've tried them now, but like in a year, if they've both gotten like significant updates and stuff, that's probably when I'll try to jump in.
Well, now, I will also say too, like, because I also recently, I don't know if I talked about it or not, but I tried that fast food one, the fast food simulator. That game is meant to be played co-op because you will hit a wall at some point where it's like you cannot possibly do all this stuff. Yeah, it's meant to. I would say Rewind 99 doesn't seem like that. So
no, I think it'd just be more about having fun. Like,
yeah,
well, because like, isn't it part of that one too? Like, you go around the town and you find tapes or stuff like that, or
so right now that there's not tapes that you can find. Like I said, you can either beat down those red boxes or there are collectibles, and it's like N64 cartridges or Tamagotchis.
I would like to see one of those games expand into like being able to rent like retro video games and stuff like that. Like,
it's weird.
Super Nintendo and 64
Rewind
and stuff
99 has that poster I sent you the picture of where they're clearly making fun of Final Fantasy, but it's weird that there are no video games. I would think
that could be an expansion.
That would be the one that would get it.
I would say that as like an expansion. Be like, oh, now you can do video games.
Well, also, Retro Rewind starts in the year 1990.
Okay.
I should probably point that out.
That's cool. I mean, you could do Nintendo and stuff, and like as time goes on in that game, you could do more stuff. Like this, just like this. We've talked about it, but like this one hits me more because like I worked basically at a rental store. It's like I have so many ideas of like what you could do in these games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because of all the simulator type things, like this is the one that interests me like by far the most.
Yeah, because I think Retro Rewind. So Rewind 99 came out like maybe a week-ish ago, and then Retro Rewind was out Tuesday.
For both of them on my Instagram like nonstop because I
think Retro Rewind.
We talked about it, so
hit
Facebook,
really high on the Steam charts.
So Facebook heard me, so I started getting ads for it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But I mean, I ain't mad at it. That's the kind of ads I like.
Of the 2 games, like I said, I would recommend the Retro Rewind now over the other one.
I think I might get that one.
But that one, I can't imagine that would. I don't think either are very demanding to run on anything either.
No, so. I mean, my Mac is not that old, and I just run Windows on it, and I'll just hook a PlayStation controller up to it and be done.
Yeah, I think you would be all right with it. But yeah, both are good, but I would say Retro Rewind would be the one to play right now. So
okay.
That does it for me, though. I'll kick it over to you with another different new release.
Man, you want to talk about 6 out of 10 video games? If I got one for you.
Ooh.
MLB 26 The Show, my annual review / disappointment. So I've played it I got it when it came out on Tuesday. So I've played it pretty much every day since then, a couple hours a day doing this and that, whatever. I'll say I already got the platinum because, again, they don't care anymore. The funny part about this franchise, and maybe I mentioned it before, is the trophies used to be damn near impossible. Like, if you go back to, like, MLB 14, the requirements for these trophies were bullshit.
Yeah.
Now they're a joke. And it's weird because it's not even a joke that it's just the same ones every year because they change them. They're not the same every year. So someone's putting thought into these trophies, but they also sometimes, for me, didn't pop when I met the conditions. So I'd have to quit and try it again, meet the conditions again. Then it would maybe pop. But if we just get down to like the core comparing this game to last year, I'd argue this game's worse because we've officially reached the point where they clearly don't give a shit anymore at all about any of it.
It's just a roster.
They just don't care. It's a roster update. It's a minor. It's a minor like. Well, we changed this mode and we tweaked this and we turned that and we took this out and we put that in. They're just in there fucking around to fuck around. None of these are updates that matter. The game looks the same. How does this game look the fucking same that it did 6 years ago? How's that possible? Like, this is a PS5 game. There's no PS4 version. Oh, wait, there's a Switch version. The Switch 2 version, there's a Switch version. So they can't. Dang. And because of the way they make these things, they don't make a Switch version and this. It's all just one thing.
And they're still putting it out on Xbox as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's on everything.
Why not?
Still.
Why not? Because if they're putting it on Switch, they could put it on Xbox.
Okay.
It's this fucking same. It's the same and it's worse because the UI, they decided to fuck the UI up. Let's just get in here real hard, just fuck everything.
That's dumb.
Like, when it comes to like Diamond Dynasty, which is the thing I play the most with like the cards and collecting and buying and selling and all that kind of stuff, it's been the same for the past few years to the point where it's muscle memory for me. Go in here, push this, it's collected. Nah, we decided to change the whole fucking thing. We decided to make it a hell of a lot worse. We decided to make the menus shaped in such a way where they don't make any fucking sense. Why is everything... So you've got a widescreen thing. Why is everything in a vertical column on the left-hand side of the screen? What the fuck is this? We're not even using the right side of the screen. Like, shouldn't I be able to scroll over instead of up and down and then have to go in and then do it? Yeah. And then it's even more convoluted when I get in there. Oh, you want to collect your team's cards? Well, we're going to show you every team in a bracket format, and then you can go over it. Like, none of this makes any fucking sense. This is all for the purpose of collecting cards. It doesn't have to look fun or inventive. Like, it shouldn't have changed. None of this should have changed. I put in the code I got in the box for my 5 free digital packs. Didn't get those.
Didn't work.
But it's redeemed. You better believe that code's redeemed.
That's stupid.
Didn't get them. It also doesn't seem to remember that I've played this game every year for the past 13 years because in the corner I should have some kind of recognition of that. Nope, doesn't know that. Started with no stubs, no nothing. Even though in 25 I had a shitload of stuff.
That's bad.
It's just they don't care. They put out these stupid vignettes every year, like a month before. It's like, check out this and Road to the Show. Check out this and check out this, and it's all just a joke. Like, none of it's fun. It's the Road to the Show still has the same boring ass, like, garbage interactions where, like, you go to meet your manager in his little shitty office, which is just like somebody threw that together in 5 seconds with Unreal tools. And it's the same, no voice acting, no nothing.
It's just text.
It's just text, and it's like,
oh, that's dumb.
Hey, you're being called up, and the only options are thanks, Skip, or wow, Skip, or I'm going to play real hard, Skip. Those reactions mean nothing. Why am I doing this? It doesn't add anything to my experience as the player to pick 3 generic interactions, which all mean the same thing, which have no point.
That's dumb.
Again, set in a box that some kid in a game development class in high school could make.
Yeah.
They don't care about the presentation at all. Stadiums look the fucking same. Crowds look the fucking same. Players look the fucking same. You still clip through your jersey all the time. What else looks terrible? Oh, you can create a stadium. They all look like shit no matter what you do. Because they're built on this flat gray texture, which is maybe like 480p, and you just kind of put pieces and parts on it. And everybody just makes the same dumb shit where there's a volcano going off in the back, and they call the stadium Nuketown, and they move on. Like, it's just the...
That's bad.
And how about this? So for the Road to the Show thing, we added more college teams. That was a big selling point. We added like 14 more college teams. Great. I would love for you to add college teams. Does that mean anything? Fuck no.
No.
Fuck no. You play like 3 high school games, and then for your college experience, you immediately play your junior year and just the tournament. There's nothing else. And then when that's over, they'll be like, oh, we think you might get drafted in whatever round. Do you want to go back to college? You can say yes or no. Doesn't mean fucking anything. I picked yes to go back to college. You immediately go to your senior year, immediately just play the tournament again. At most, you're playing like 8 college baseball games. Total.
Jeez.
This road to the show my ass. Like, this is literally just like,
bad.
It's all flavor text. You could skip the whole thing. Then what's the point? To get drafted higher, what does that mean? You can tell the team what team you want. You can tell the game what team you want to get drafted to. So what does it matter? Aside from the trophy that says get drafted number 1 overall. That was the one trophy I thought might be a problem. Nah, man, I just did 8 games in college and bam, number 1 pick. Doesn't matter.
Jeez.
There's no challenge. There's no nothing. And I don't play on rookie or any of that crap. I play on higher levels because I've been playing this game for years. There's no challenge whatsoever.
Yeah.
And if you took the logos out of this game that said MLB 26, if you just took the 26 off of it and you just gave it to a random person, I don't know if they would tell you if it was different other than the shitty UI menus.
What is its overall like Metacritic score?
I don't know. IGN gave it a 6, which is and last year I think they gave it a 9. But it's finally, it feels like review places are finally catching on that like they don't give a shit.
It's overall at an 83.
That's too high. It's far
too high. That seems too high.
Because again, we're talking about a game that has no competition, so it has no reason to do a fucking thing.
The problem is I don't know if it would ever get.
Or how about this? How about this? No, there won't. No one will even bother. But here's another little trick, little thing they snuck in there and they didn't tell anybody. So part of the game is, stubs and buying and selling cards. And if you know what you're doing, you can make money off of it in the game and not have to pay for anything. I'm very good at manipulating that market. But if you're smart about it and you can predict like what cards are going to be worth more in the future, it's smart to buy low and sell high, right? Mm. Oops, we took that away. We didn't tell you that. So now there's a card limit. You can only have 20 of a card. So what does that mean? It means you should probably just buy stuff. Just pay us the money. Yeah. No, but they didn't tell anybody about that before launch. And all of a sudden it's just here. The whole thing's a mess. Like, it's just incredibly fucking disappointing. It's the people that work there. Like, I'm starting to like actively hate all of these like community guys who put out these little pump up videos. It's like, we're really trying our best and all this kind of stuff. It's like, no, you're not. And you're not. Because it's the same fucking product. I can't wait.
You're telling me is you can't wait to do it again next year.
It's the one. I love baseball. I just like playing baseball. I like the new rosters. I like the cards, but they're actively fucking me over. And we're not even going to talk about the fact that like it used to be you could buy the game. You could buy the deluxe edition of the game, which was a steelbook, and you got extra stuff. Yeah. Or you could buy the collector's one, which came with a hat in a big box, and they all went next to each other on the thing.
They don't even do those anymore.
Those are gone. You can buy regular, or you can buy digital deluxe. Go fuck yourself. There's not even a steelbook anymore. I went in to pick up my copy at GameStop, and I was talking to the guy too, because I was like, oh, I had Yakuza 3, like that Dark Ties thing reserved, and I was like, I'm going to pass, because I haven't played the other ones. Apparently this version's bad. I don't really care about it right now. So I was like, I want to move my thing to Bond, because I know I'm going to get Bond.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, which version do you want? Well, it's like, well, gee, if there was a version that was like, let's say 90 that came with the steelbook, I'd get that, no question. No, you can get regular for 70. You can get special for 200 or Golden Gun one for like 250 or 300.
That's crazy.
Where did we end up as a society?
Does any of them have a steelbook?
The top 2 do. But why isn't there just a steelbook version for $90? What are they doing?
All these games should have that option at like another $10 or $20.
I would say 90 for a steelbook version is the correct thing.
It's fair.
And all it has to have is a fucking steelbook and like a slipcover case. And I'd buy that version of every game I intend to buy day one, as opposed to the regular one. Mm-hmm. But like baseball has given up. They didn't do the hat. The COVID year for Ohtani, they just did like the special case Okay, fine. Maybe there were production issues, or who the fuck knows? It could have been anything.
They
But
haven't
now
done the hat since.
it's a cognitive decision to not only not do it, but to not address it the fact that they've ever done it in the past. It's just like, no, we only make the regular version because they don't even want to make those anymore. They just want you to buy digital deluxe. That's what they want. So anyway, I'll play that game for like 3 more straight fucking months because I'm sick. But it's terrible. It's probably the most disappointed I've been in this franchise since maybe the first like PS3 to PS4 year, because you know those transitional years for sports games are always bad. They're always bad. They don't quite know what to do yet. And it always takes a couple years to get back on track.
Well, because at that point, like, even though, hey, we have this new platform, they know most people are not going to be playing it on that platform yet. So
there's that too. Like, they know that there's not really a reason to pump resources into a system that might not have an install base.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's that. Other bangers I've played. More Suicide Squad. We did your favorite mission. We killed the Batman, which is sorry. Do you know what that mission is? Do you know what that mission is? It's
I know how it ends. It's like, in the cutscene.
Well, that's different. That comes later. That's not that. The actual Batman fight is basically like the Scarecrow fights in the Arkham games.
Except he's
because you're fear toxined out to hell or whatever he uses to make you go crazy, and then you fight like a big Scarecrow version of him. And then when you beat him, he's still alive. You don't kill him right there. You know that. Because then you take him back to alternate Lex Luthor. That's a whole fucking thing from a different universe. And then you use him to lure out Superman because Harley just shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They put him on a bench and they shoot him so that Superman will come out. So that's really bad. So that they can fight off Superman with their gold kryptonite like gear, which the game forces you to wear cosmetically. So it gives you all these choices to make your character look different till this mission where it says, "Nah, you gotta look like this."
It's bad.
And then you fight Superman, and that fight fucking blows because you're trapped. Because we're in Metropolis, right? It's a big city. It's fun. No, you're locked in a circle, and eventually, every so often, he gets real pissed off, and he makes this big circle thing come out. And if you get hit by it, you're probably gonna die. And the circle is almost as big as the arena is. Every boss fight in the game is just the same kind of like thing over and over again, where you're trapped in a circle. You have to counter shoot them with the bad controls, and then shoot them some more for their health to go down, and then repeat the cycle a couple times, and then it's over. So now that we've killed Batman and Superman, the true end game appears, where you have to kill Brainiac. But they talk about the fact that you have to kill Brainiac like. There's like 13 different versions of Brainiacs because now it becomes a multiverse game. And I know how much you love.
That's even worse.
I know how much you love that menu at the top where there's like 15 things in it. Don't worry, they've added another one. So now the menu's even larger because
that's bad.
They just it's a disgusting game.
Just seems
bad. It's just disgusting. Like, I don't know another way to describe how it feels. It's just like. These people made these Batman games and then somehow thought that this was the next step up. There's something to be said about playing as villains. There's something to be said about killing the Justice League. That's a good idea, but not in the way that this was fleshed out.
Is it Tara Strong that voices Harley in the game? I think it is.
Yeah.
I know it's
whoever did
Samoa Joe is King Shark.
Yeah. And I will say, again, like I've said in the past, every so often you get a cutscene or a line, which is pretty fucking funny. And most of the time it's a shark. The second most would be Captain Boomerang. Deadshot could disappear from the game and I wouldn't notice. And Harley, they write her, she tries too hard. Like they try. I think most people, outside of maybe that like current like Harley Quinn cartoon or the last thing they did, have no idea how to write her as a character, like at all. Because for forever, her whole identity was the Joker. And then now they're trying to distance her from that and they're trying to make her more popular than the Joker, and they're just failing. Because she's
I mean, that
and it
cartoon,
is Tara Strong that does her voice, by the way.
Yeah. Nolan North is the voice of Superman. That's kind of humorous to me. Because I just looked that up. I was like, it has to be Tara Strong would be the voice, but like there is that popular, and I should go back because I only saw the first 2 seasons, but there is that popular HBO like adult animated Harley Quinn show, and that's very much based on like that mid 20s.
Sure, and that's supposed to be pretty good,
and that's fine.
Yeah, but I just feel like in other media, especially like this, like they have no idea what to do.
They don't. They could have just pulled from that. What would it? How much more popular would it have been if they would have just made a Harley Quinn game?
How much more popular would it have been if it was a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy game?
Right.
It was just a 2-player game with the 2 of them, and one can be Harley, who's acrobatic, and she uses. She could even use guns. Man, who cares? She has the hammer, and then Ivy could be more about like magic, and she's using like the plants and shit. There's a better game. There's a far,
very much so.
And it pitched a better game right now.
And it doesn't even have to be the Justice League. It could just be like them against like the Rio Black Mask. How about that?
There you go.
Oh, well, shit. I just wrote the whole game.
There you go.
And you can even put in like Penguin and all the other guys. You can have an
appearance from Batman. You can have an appearance from Joker.
Sure.
You know, they can have cameos.
But I feel like a buddy game with the 2 of them would have been far better. But instead, Ivy's a 6-year-old kid, and Deadshot has to bitch about how he's not the other Deadshot from the other games because they're oops, we retconned ourselves into a fucking hole.
They had to pitch. I think at the time that they pitched this game, it was when the live service games were super popular and everything. It just was a major holdover from that, and then we had COVID happen and stuff. This game came out way too late.
It's a disgusting example of what live service games became.
Yes, it is.
For sure. We're finally getting lucky to the point where that seems to be dying.
I feel like it.
I think that Horizon game will be the next like true test, and like as a game that I'll play just because I'm interested to see if it is a Horizon game that's multiplayer. I'm into that, but I could see that game not being good either.
I can see it not being good.
So yeah, we'll kill Brainiac maybe this week. Who fuck knows? I don't care anymore. I hate this game. It's so bad.
What is the next game after that?
On
the
I think
everlasting train of misery.
I think Dying Light 1 is next, so at least it's a good game. Okay. Yeah, because I liked what I played of it back in the day. But I think Dying Light 1 is next because we're doing all the zombie shit, but we're doing it in release order.
Yeah.
So that's why we did Dead Island and then Riptides, and then it's Dying Light, Dying Light 2, Dead Island 2. Yeah, that makes sense. And then whatever the current Dying Light thing is, I think that's Beast. A different game, right? Than 2?
That's a completely different game, yeah.
Okay.
The Beast.
So that's next. Other than that, I played some of that Wall-E PS2 to PS5 thing for trophies. It's actually not a bad little Disney platformer game of that time.
I remember when it came out.
It's not bad. It's feels like you're playing like parts of the movie that maybe you didn't necessarily see in the movie, but like you're just Wall-E driving around, picking up boxes, throwing boxes and shit, solving little traversal puzzles and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun. And then I played Pacific Drive, but I only played it for a couple hours. I played it because Eric was playing a ton of it. Yeah. And he was talking it up. I don't know if it's for me. I can't get it. Okay. Like I've done like 3 loops, I guess you would say. Cause like, have you played any of it?
No.
Okay.
I bought that special edition, but I never opened
it. So like you go to the garage and you pimp out your car and then you drive out of your garage, you go get shit to bring it back to build up your car. I played like 3 loops of that and like, it's okay. I just don't feel like there's much to it
going on.
You know, like it always has this like sense of like dread or like you're in danger, but there's no enemies. So like you're really not. Yeah. So it really just becomes driving this car around. And then the car doesn't control the best. Maybe that changes as I upgrade the car, but it's not great. And like the paths and stuff where you drive, like I accidentally just fucking drove down this hill at one point. And I was like, well, that's great. You know, it's forgiving in terms of like, it's not trying to punish you for playing the game. It's trying to help you along, but it also feels like there's too many systems.
Yeah.
And maybe you felt that too, Matt, but like there's a lot of like material. There's a lot of different kinds of materials. There's a lot of crafting. There's a lot of parts of your car then as you do it, it's like, oh, you can also do this. Oh, you can also do this. Oh, but then you can also do this. Like, we're getting to be too much about me driving a fucking car around.
Yeah.
But I might go back and give it another shot.
I feel the same way you did. I played like I want to say like 2 hours of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, it wasn't horrible.
Right.
But I really didn't see where it was going. And I was just kind of like, maybe I'll stop it. Like, I still have it like set up on my PC.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep telling myself I need to try it again just to kind of like
it's
see
still
if
installed.
I'll get into it.
Yeah. But I'm
not sure.
And like, you drive off and you find these like abandoned camper things, and you get out and you pick up some materials, and that's kind of it. And then it's like, oh, open the trunk of this car, you get some more materials. maybe I just have to get into pimping out the car, but I don't really see. I know Eric loved it. I don't get how he loved it as much as he was talking about. But maybe I just need another like 2-3 hour session of it to try to get it. But that's pretty much it for me. It's been mostly baseball and the same old crap, I guess.
Same old crap. What about you, Matt?
So I have been playing. I started a game called As Long As You're Here. It's a Steam game. So the basis of it is you're playing from a character's point of view who has Alzheimer's.
All right.
And it intrigued me enough to keep it on my wish list, and it dropped down the other day, so I snagged it. It didn't fall under my $5 mark, so it's one of my games for the year. But it's interesting because, like, so you're kind of going through her story and trying to figure out more about her. The crazy thing about it is, as the game progresses day by day, things change without you doing them. So then you're like, that wasn't there a second ago. How did it get there? And so it's like it's playing tricks on your mind as far as when you're going through it.
Yeah.
It is really interesting, the story behind it. All I can get right now is that you're an older lady, you have 2 kids. Your kids have decided you can't live alone anymore. So the daughter has moved you into the same apartment complex that she lives in, right above her, so she can be closer to you. Your son is kind of MIA this right now.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm not too far into it, maybe like an hour into it. But it's interesting because like the day progresses kind of quick. The other day I got locked in the bathroom and like she started freaking out because you could not get out of the bathroom no matter what you did.
Okay.
It's just really interesting how they did this. I am intrigued to see how it ends and where it goes, but so far I'm in on it. It's been a solid game.
Okay.
I finished Reanimal. Weird.
Okay.
Not in a bad way. Those dudes who did Little Nightmares 1 and 2 still know what they're doing. Like, this game is a creepy factor. It's got like this looming threat of like always being chased in it. And I won't give it away, but the ending really did blow my mind because it was not what I was expecting. And it's crazy. It is a really crazy game, and it really did solidify that there were 2 different teams who did Little Nightmares 1 and 2 and 3. Like,
oh yeah, no, that was pretty much known that it was a completely different team that did 3 versus those people went off to make this game because they wanted to make something different.
They did. They sure as shit did. They made something very, and I mean, like, I don't feel like it's too different from Little Nightmares 1 and 2, but it's different enough that I felt like the progression of the team itself was done really well. Like the game itself is good. It's about a 4-hour game.
Okay.
I would say if you don't want to pay full price for it, it's definitely going to drop. But snag it because I really enjoyed my time with it. Excuse me. I've done some more Apex Legends. They are in their Gundam collection right now.
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now.
And it's I will say the Gundam outfits are really unique and like really cool. So I'm debating on if I need to just go ahead and buy one so I can just have it, or if I'm just going to try to work to get
work
it
towards getting it. Yeah.
because I think the season ends in like 30 days. So I'm like debating like how much time can I put into it to get what I really want out of it. I did play test that new game. I think it's pronounced Nakwan Last Paradise.
I've seen people talking about that. Yeah,
it is essentially another Arc Raiders. It's an extraction shooter type game. The downfall is it includes zombies, and I'll say downfall because like in Arc Raiders, yeah, if you're shooting your gun at a machine, other machines will hear you. This thing is like if you like knock into a car and the alarm goes off, zombies just swarm you like I have never seen before. I think of it like World War Z, but better.
Okay.
It's interesting. I haven't really gotten too far into it because like a bad game player I am, I cannot use my keyboard and mouse to save my life. If the world was
only keyboard and mouse,
so some of it plays from your controller, but not well. So it's essentially best played keyboard mouse. And I'm going to tell you now, if it was up to me to save the entire universe by playing a game on keyboard and mouse, we're all dead. Like, I ain't making it. Another one I played was The Cabin Factory. I don't know. I saw you had this. I don't know how much you played of it.
I don't think I've ever played it, but I think I bought it on one of those Steam sales.
Shit, dude.
And that's why I bought it.
Yeah, it's hella creepy. So essentially you're this you're a person who's like working an assembly line, and your job is to check if the cabins are haunted or not haunted.
Okay, I like
and it's like, oh, you walk in, and if a thing moves or a thing's out of place, it's haunted. It's haunted. Just say it's haunted and run out the building. But I got to this point where like I got into the house and I couldn't get out of the house, and I just got stuck into this loop where like I was being chased around. I was
gonna say there's probably something that's chasing. Okay,
it got pretty intense, and I didn't know.
Is there any kind of co-op element to it, or is it just a single player game?
I am not.
This is the one that I think I've watched like a playthrough of. I think it's just a single player thing because it's sort of like cabins come down like through this factory, and you go in and you check it out and you come back out. And it's actually got like a story to it too. It's not just like a anomaly.
Yeah, it's not. It like it is. It does have an interesting story. Like from what I can get off, the cabin itself was modeled after like a home that a family perished in. I haven't gotten too much. Like I said, after I got locked in that cabin, I kind of freaked myself out and I cut the game off. I wasn't expecting it to be like kind of throw you in the way it did. But I had a lot of fun with it, man. Like so far, I will revisit it for sure because I do like what was happening. It is, you can't play it on your controllers if you want to. But it was interesting. I will say it's very interesting as far as because it's crazy because like right now all the cabins I've inspected are all the same design. It's just what's inside of it is not the same. So,
what does this thing look like that's chasing you, or did you not see it?
So, in the upstairs, there's like a doll that like sits in each cabin.
Okay.
Sometimes the doll moves. At one point, I went upstairs and I was like, "Okay, this doesn't seem bad." And I went back downstairs, and a girl was blocking the door. And I was like, "Okay." So I turned myself around, and then the only door that was open was the door to the basement. And I was like, well, I don't want to go down there, but I don't know how far I need to go. So I ended up having to go down into the basement, and then I got locked into the bathroom, which then switched into I changed from the person I was to the little girl, and I saw what she was seeing, and it just got it got a lot real quick. And after I reset from that one. I cut it off, and I just was like,
I'm good now.
Right. I'm gonna have to go back into it, but I go back into it with the mindset of this game it's pretty interesting right off the rip.
Okay.
I then on Whoop the other day when we were doing this, I found By Sweet Carol, and I went ahead and bought it. It was I love the art style in it because it looks like it's a hand drawn animated cartoon from like the 90s, 80s, and 90s.
Okay.
It's a horror. It's like a horror platform adventure game. I like it so far. I will say it is pretty interesting the way it's done. There's not a lot. So I will say this: there's not a lot of controls to it. So don't go in expecting to like do a lot. It feels like an old school platformer where it's literally like the only thing she can do right now to protect herself is kick. And that's not necessarily bad. It's just not what I was expecting. But it's a platformer. There's a lot of puzzling to it too. The story of it so far is pretty interesting. I don't know if so. In the very beginning, all the animals keep referring to her as the princesses back home. But then at one point, you wake up and you're in a classroom setting. So like, I don't know if she's like just daydreaming and she's coming back into like real world stuff. It's interesting. I'm probably like, I want to say like an hour into it, so I'm not too far into it. But I definitely will play it through to see what it's about because I really like the way it looks. I think that's what really drawn me to it. And ironically, it looks like a drawn cartoon, so that was nice. The other thing I got into was this game called Towerborn.
Yeah,
it was. I saw it on Game Pass, and I just went ahead and downloaded it. I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. You play as someone they refer to as an ace. They're like an immortal warrior that are reborn to help defend your town essentially through the darkness. You can play as 4 different classes. There's the Sentinel class, there's the Pyroclast, the Rockbreaker, and the Shadow Striker. So far I've only played as the Pyroclast. I thought he had like this really cool staff and this like fire thing on the end of it. And he's pretty cool. It's like a side-scrolling RPG in a way.
Okay.
So I want to say I maybe probably like an hour and 15 into this one too, and I really like what's happening so far. If you got Game Pass, download it, give it a shot. I think it's pretty good. I think it's been pretty fun and pretty entertaining so far. We'll see how much it goes because right now I can't play Arc Raiders because the thing keeps continuing to
I was gonna say it's still like dying and crashing,
yeah. Which is actually nice because I've been doing other games.
Got you off that game.
It did. It got me off. It got me unaddicted to Arc Raiders, which is nice. So I've been playing more of that, but I did really get into Towerborn too. I really have been enjoying the gameplay of it. So I think I'm definitely gonna try to. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, but I'm definitely gonna try to push more into it because I've been having a good time with it. So that's all I've been playing this week.
All right. Yeah, we can kick over to news. There hasn't been as much as the last time we recorded, so I put this first one in here more for fun. But Ballistic Moon, the development studio that made the pretty poorly received Until Dawn remake for PS5, another Sony studio casualty. Not this one doesn't really
less
surprise.
Surprising, but it's just another one.
So Resident Evil 9, obviously we talked about it a lot on the last episode. Resident Evil 9, fastest selling Resident Evil game of all time now. They have confirmed that there is DLC on the way, so there will be some sort of story DLC that will be paid for, and then there's going to be some sort of free bonus mode, which my assumption is that's just Mercs mode.
Some kind of
I would think that's probably what it is. Yeah. But not surprising. That game predicted gangbusters when it came out.
Problem with this game now is it sets the bar pretty high for 10.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And like I said, like right now for me, I mean, it's early in the year. There'll be other stuff that comes out, but it's the game to beat for me as far as game.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
It's really early,
right?
But I said last time, and obviously you weren't here, but like it is the best new Resident Evil game in at least a decade.
Oh, I
wasn't a huge fan of 7 or 8.
I've been watching a playthrough of it, and like it's definitely one of the more interesting ones.
They did a good job of balancing because like I mean the parts with Leon, especially towards the end, it gets batshit wacky like you would expect.
Yeah, it does,
but in a good way. It also still feels reserved. The other thing I'll say about it too, and I think I said last time we recorded, is like there's a ton of those memes and those TikTok videos of Leon just doing all the curb stomps and all these crazy action moves. But like when you and the one-liners, but like when you actually play the game, it's not that over the top. It feels a lot more balanced than what they're showing there. Because that was another fear I had, like going into it. I'm like, are they really going to go that crazy? Because it makes it look like Resident Evil 6 level, like just all action. It's not. It really isn't. It feels more reserved when you're playing it. So, but that is a tremendous game. So, even if as I said before, like it is so far up its own ass with story things and what they're doing. Like we talked about, like the blood collection,
nostalgia,
but then you can use that blood to make like the whole storyline with your buddy Zeno.
That's
like,
a bit much like
ridiculous.
Don't think we needed to go that far in terms of that stuff, but
I don't know. I felt it was done in a good way where I didn't. The only sequence in that entire game, and you've probably seen the TikTok of it at this point. I don't think it's at this point. I wouldn't call it a spoiler because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
The only part of that took me out of it, where I was like, okay, we're going really far into that level, would be the motorcycle.
Yeah, that
part.
Stuff's kind of stupid as fuck.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. It's something that maybe like the chase on maybe the broken highway and stuff is fine, but like the fucking building part, like come on. It's unnecessary.
It's weird because right before that part, when you're Leon and you're exploring the, vacated version of Raccoon City 30 years later, there's a really cool sequence. I don't know if you've seen this in the playthrough you're watching of it yet or not, but there's a cool sequence where you're going up a skyscraper that has fallen down.
That part's awesome.
And there's the glass that you can shoot out. Like that's a really unique thing and something I haven't seen in a Resident Evil game before. That was cool. But you go from that to this motorcycle chase, and it's just like, what am I playing here? Like
it's a little dumb.
It gets a little silly in that regard, but I still feel it was more reserved than some of the other games. So, especially like I said, I didn't like Village that much, so. This felt more like what I want out of a Resident Evil in 2026. So, yeah, they've set a very high bar for whatever they do next. But I really do think the next thing is probably Code Veronica. There's enough evidence that points in that direction.
I think you'll get that and 5 before you'll get 10.
Do you think they do any kind of remake of 1 to celebrate the 30th anniversary?
That's the only other thing I would say is on the table.
Like in the style of 2, 3,
because
and 4.
I would tell you, you'll never get a Revelations 1 or 2 remake. They just don't care.
No,
I would kill.
You're never gonna get a Revelations 3.
I would kill for an Outbreak, but they won't do that.
The best you got out of that was tying that character into this game.
And that's the only way where I'd be like, well, you did that. Maybe you could.
Maybe, yeah.
No, they won't.
Yeah, I don't think they.
But will. I think a 1 remake is on the table. I think Code Veronica is probably next, and then I definitely think a 5-1 is coming.
Well, they did that survey a while ago, and it was surprising the amount of people that were okay with them doing 5. So,
well, I mean, they're clearly they've cashed in on redoing 2, 3, and 4. And it's going to be a while before 10. Like it just is. It's going to be probably 5 years before 10.
Probably.
So
yeah, I would agree with
if
that.
In the meantime you have this thing you built for 2, 3, and 4, you can make a 1, a Code Veronica, and a 5 every year.
They have to be looking. They have to be looking at all these videos and memes and stuff of 5, and like 5 is as 5 is one of my favorite games, but 5 has had a real resurgence in the last couple of months. So people are like, well, maybe it wasn't
as someone
that
who's
bad.
played a little bit of 5 in the past couple months, I would love to play 5 with new controls. I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've played through 5 so many times. I'm used to the controls, but I get
They're
it.
still wacky.
I think they've improved.
Yeah,
they've improved that in this franchise very much so.
But if you could do each one of those every year, and to or every 18 months to get you to 10, why wouldn't you do it?
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
People want more Resident Evil. They want as much of it as possible. The only thing I think is funny though is I feel like if we ever got 1 Veronica and 5, I don't think they'd do 6.
I think they stop at 5.
I think
reason.
5 is the last one to redo. 6, I just don't think anyone cares enough about.
I don't think so.
I didn't even play through it all the way, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's not. It falls apart pretty bad.
I think there's enough support where I think 5 would do really well.
Oh yeah,
but I don't.
I think 5 would sell just because it's co-op. I think if it's co-op 5 also like new stuff, yeah,
it's very clear from the end of this game
that 5 happened and it was important to this. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say at the very end of the game, it's very clear they're setting up the next game to be a Chris game.
Sure.
So it would make sense. Hey, let's revisit 5.
Well, and this game, from what I've seen, 5 is a part of it for sure. It's
100%.
Yeah, we're not ignoring the events of 5. We and they do reference 6 quite a bit. Little pieces and parts, because I picked up on that. We're that's why we had to kill the president. And you're like, oh shit, they did kill the president in 6.
It's funny to me that of everything in the game that they reference, they don't reference 7 and 8 at all that I remember.
Nothing I've seen so far.
Nothing about Ethan Winter or any of that stuff.
The Bakers.
Which is for me is the right choice. I did not like either of those
I feel
games
like you could reference the Baker,
the mold
the
man,
incident that happened down there. Because I feel like that was a good idea that the main character couldn't live up to. And then Village just kind of took it to a completely different place.
In terms of watching it, where have you gotten?
I am at.
Have you seen the creepy orphanage part?
Yes, with all the creepy kids.
That part
sucks.
Yeah, okay. That part is creepy. I never thought there was any part that's scary in the game, but there are creepy things. That is unsettling.
I just watched him kill. I don't know if you spoiled or whatever. Your favorite guy from the past with the axe fight.
Oh yeah,
I watched that.
Okay, yeah,
that's a great throwback to be.
That's a great part of that game.
He's here, and then now we can get rid of. Although from what I've seen in other things, apparently, if you leave and come back, his body's gone. So is he dead?
Really? I'm not surprised. That was one of the only that fight is great, but one of the only parts of the game I had a problem with is immediately right before that when you're just fighting those soldiers. That is not a fun part.
No, it's dumb.
And it just reminded me again, every time they've tried to do that in this franchise, it's never worked.
Chris and 6,
yeah, it's never worked.
No, so it was kind of dumb because it kind of takes away from everything you've done to that point.
Okay,
but the axe fight after I thought was entertaining because it's very much they're trying to clean it up.
You're pretty much at the end then of watching that game. Because you've seen the orphanage, you've seen the horrible spider fight, which nobody likes.
Fuck that shit.
That boss fight sucks just for the reason I don't like spiders.
Yeah, I saw that when they showed up. I'm like, and there were webs and shit. I went, oh no! And then you see that thing crawling over. I was like, this is why I can't play this shit, and I just have to watch it.
Not a fun part. The only other part of that game that I thought was genuinely really creepy is in the beginning of the game, or towards the beginning of the game when you're playing as Grace. The first time you run across that it's kind of like the witch from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
the design.
I thought
kind of creepy.
I thought the opening stuff with Grace in the hospital thing is incredible.
When the thing's chasing you.
I think that's top tier stuff. Her part in the hospital in the beginning, I thought was very cool.
They basically took and expanded that part from the last game where you go into the house with the creepy baby thing.
Yeah.
But instead of a creepy baby, it's this
actual
woman
threat.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I thought that's a good part. I thought that was very well done. I thought that was very you're playing a Resident Evil game when you're playing that shit.
Every part, and that's the thing I'll say is every part of the game I think it's balanced really well because the parts that you play as her are very much like classic Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
That environment that they created that you're exploring, the hospital or whatever we're going to call it, I forget the facility, whatever it is, very much feels like one of those mansions. And then all the Leon stuff just feels like stuff later in that franchise.
It feels like what Resident Evil is now. Like there's definitely Resident Evil is two different things now. And I think they do a very good job of it. If anything, I think
understood that.
If anything, I think that the game could use a little bit more Grace stuff, but I get it. Because people want to be Leon and people want it a little faster pace, but I feel like
his intro is one of the best of any of those games.
Yeah, it's very good.
Of that guy just walking out like, oh shit, there he is. Yeah. He's just shooting people with that dart gun.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very ridiculous. Good. Like they did a very, very good job. And they did a very good job of introducing Grace, making you give a shit about her like immediately. And throwing her into the worst possible fucking situation. It's very good.
It is, like I said, it's easily my favorite since 5.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
for sure.
in terms of
someone who just
Resident
watches them now, it's my favorite since 5. I stopped after 6.
Enough.
7, I told you, man, when they turned 7 into first person and that dude was flying in their house,
and I tried.
Like, I don't like it.
For the fun of it, I tried like maybe 5 minutes in the first person. I like that they have the option to do either or.
It's cool.
Resident Evil is not a first person game.
It's cool that they give it to you.
It's cool that you can choose either or.
Well, it's cool that they're even like, okay, Grace is first and he's third, and it's meant to be two different things. But it's cool that they're in third person. But it's cool that they allowed it to happen because they get it.
There are a lot of good especially as her, a lot of oh shit moments in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one part when you're exploring that facility where you open the dining room door and there's just a bunch of zombies laying on that table like that's kind of an oh shit. Like there's a lot of fucked up things going on in this place.
The fucking blood pool, man. Fuck that shit.
Oh yeah,
shit's disgusting.
Well, there's a sequence there where you have to go down in that body grinder and then you have to play that thing through. There's some good puzzles and stuff in that game. And just a tremendous game all overall. So the one to beat right now for the year for me. So but I really enjoyed that. So but it's done well. I forget what the number is, like how many copies.
I thought I saw 5.
I think it was 5. 5
million
that's copies.
A lot.
I know I didn't put it in the news, but Crimson Desert has sold 2 million copies, so that might be where it stops for a while.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like that's going to be the kind of game where it sells really well to start, and then it just kind of stops because word of mouth is going to get out, and it's going to be the kind of thing where, well, maybe I'll wait, and then it's $50, $40, stuff like that.
Exactly. Microsoft seems hellbent about talking about this Project Helix, which is the next Xbox. The thing is, they're giving this hardware to developers next year, but do you really think it's going to be next fall?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
What is this thing?
It's just a fucking high-end PC.
It seems like it because the games are going to be like PC first.
If it's over $1,000, why would you buy it?
That's my point.
I don't get it. Why would I buy it?
I wouldn't.
I could buy a
real
PC.
Quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Now we're talking about this. It's past 6 million in sales as of right now.
Resident Evil. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that.
The thing about this whole the PC stuff, it's like what just an Xbox is like if you buy it as an Xbox, it's stuck as what it is.
Yeah.
If I buy a PC for $1,000, I can change it if I have to. Not that that's that's going to be cheaper because of RAM and all that shit.
No,
it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm buying an Xbox. Why? So I can only play Xbox games on it. What are Xbox games?
Exactly.
I can play Xbox games on PlayStation. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
don't know. With that being said, they have killed that this is an Xbox campaign.
Well, how they're
officially
killing it sort of quietly. And it turns out it's because it was her idea, and everybody told her at the time like they didn't think it was a good idea.
The internal people didn't like it either. Like people that worked there for years, like this is confusing.
Because it did exactly what we said. It's like it turned it into, well, if everything's an Xbox,
then why buy an Xbox?
Then why buy an Xbox?
Yep.
It turns out my PlayStation is an Xbox.
Turns out it's a better Xbox.
Exactly.
Oops.
Whoops. How much do you know about the Fortnite and Epic bullshit?
I know it's shit because I have to keep buying these motherfucking cards, and they're like,
don't know anything. Still expensive. I don't want to know anything about it.
Well, we're gonna talk.
You guys can talk about it. I don't fucking know.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous, man.
So Epic came out and cried about how they have to. They're raising the price of the V-Bucks stuff because it's expensive to run this fucking game. Servers.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. You make enough money off of me to run these game servers. Like that's ridiculous.
We argue this is the most popular game in the world?
Yeah,
I think one could easily argue that.
Yeah.
It would probably be at that level. I mean, it's the game that certainly, most kids and stuff are playing on a day-to-day basis. But to come out and basically say, like, we're putting that cost on the people
ridiculous.
When they make millions of dollars every day on these V-Bucks things is just fucking absurd. So they've had to respond to the backlash. I don't think their response was particularly great. But the fans are obviously in an uproar to change the pricing and availability of V-Bucks. Let's see what they said here. But this is like common as like most people. Like I don't doubt the cost of running Fortnite has gone up, and I'm sure it has like significantly. Like again, that is the most popular game in the world, and like in terms of like thinking about an online game or something. Like I can't imagine in comparison like Minecraft would take nearly as much to run.
No, not at all.
So I'm sure like server after server after server, people are playing that thing 24/7. It's going to cost a shit ton of money to run that game. But the argument here is you know what? The one other thing I would put in this category would be like GTA Online.
Yeah.
It's probably in a very similar category. I don't think it's as popular as Fortnite, but it's up there. But again, the Epic, they're raking in millions of dollars daily on the V-Bucks stuff. So for them to come out and be like, well, it's on the users that they're going to have to pay more for this stuff is just fucking ridiculous. So, and just not great. Here was the full thing that they put up. The cost of running Fortnite has gone up a lot, and we're raising the prices to help pay the bills. That's was the official statement they put out. It's a blunt message from video game developer known to profit enormously from Fortnite. It was stated with no further context on the game's running cost or current performance, to which many fans simply rolled their eyes.
Yeah, because it's bullshit.
So
it says here that breaking it down, Epic Games roughly makes around almost $3 million on every day on a regular day. That's not to say that like on a special day that they do like their releases and stuff, they can easily top $5 million daily.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you're making $3 million a day on parents and kids.
How much does that number double or triple when it's like a new season or like one of these
day or whatever the fuck they do?
Dude, it's got to top. It's got to top more than that because you got to think about it. So like, Epic is consistently Fortnite is consistently making new skins. Almost, it feels like weekly to like help produce things, and that doesn't even account like the musicians they keep putting in and like the
they do those like concert events and stuff.
The concert events, the Star Wars characters, Marvel. It's got to be topping more than that daily. So I don't understand why you're making me pay more for less V-Bucks right now. Like I don't understand how that my extra $4 to lose 200 more V-Bucks helps run your game any smoother than you would think. If anything, this is going to make me not want to put more money into my kid's account to help them want to play the game any. Like, because skins don't do anything. They don't make you play better. It's just cosmetic. So like the fact that you're playing this game and you're spending so much money on these skins drives me bananas.
But that game does the thing, and like I have not played Fortnite since it originally came out. So my understanding is that these skins and stuff are timed, right?
Yeah,
like you buy it and you have it forever, but
well, and
they're not for sale forever, right?
And like some of the skins when I started playing are retired and they don't bring them out anymore, you know? And so like I think each skin window I want to say lasts about 2 weeks maybe.
Okay.
And unless I think if they do like a big release, I think those last a little bit longer. But yeah.
Have they had to delist any because of licensing issues? Like when I say that, it's like at the point of like you can't even use this anymore because
I don't think I've ran across them delisting any skins. I have ran across them delisting emotes, I think. Due to like licensing things or like lawsuits or something like that. Didn't they get rid of like
the Carlton?
I think
there was one they had to get rid of.
I want to say something. I think I feel like the Backpack Kid was one that they had to get rid of too. So like things like that have dropped, but like they've even gotten better with that now, and they're not just releasing those emotes to release them. They're literally trying to license those emotes to make sure that they can keep them in their game. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's ridiculous. When I read that, I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Like, what?
That's like most. I would say that's probably like most parents of kids that play Fortnite, though. Like it's, I don't know. Like I said, I played it a few times when it first came out.
I play it, and like the thing about it, so like I will say the thing about Fortnite that keeps it interesting for kids, and I'm watching this more with both of my sons. Because my 11-year-old plays a lot of like creative with his friends, and like their goal is essentially to kill each other. But like my youngest son is playing detective Fortnite games on Fortnite. Okay. And so like there are like different rooms, and it's essentially like, you know, like you can get into different rooms which get you into different games or get you into different modes of different things. But like my youngest is playing like, the other day, he was playing a full-on, like, a detective mystery game in Fortnite where he was literally trying to find clues to, like, figure out what happened here. And I'm, like, watching the difference between my two kids playing this game. It's crazy because that's how far this game has come. But still, like, you took 200 V-Bucks from me for $4 more? Like, it's ridiculous. I can't understand their thought process. I mean, and I get it. The game costs more to run, but
yeah, but they're pushing that cost on you. Yeah, the player, which is stupid. So it's dumb.
It is dumb.
It's finally happened, Dan. Starfield is finally coming to PS5.
It only took 2.5 years. We did it.
We did it. Be out April 7th. It's $50. It'll be price drop to that price point on PC and Xbox as well.
Because they're adding the expansions to it, which I think are like $20.
So the first expansion is already out. My understanding is that expansion is very bad. That's why I never went back and played that expansion. And then the second expansion I don't think it's out with this release, but it's like shortly after. So there is also like a deluxe version you can buy, I think at $70, but it's the full thing that has everything. But finally, it's coming to PS5, which I told you it's about half of that price.
Yep,
would be worth.
Yep, that's what I'm waiting for.
That $25,
$30.
I would say 30 would probably be the top.
I liked I would what be I was.
I would like to play.
Sort of able to play, so I would pay $30 for it for sure.
Yeah, I would too to play it again. I'm curious to see what kind of pro support they put into it. I'm sure
that second expansion is supposed to change some stuff up and add some stuff too that will make it less boring, I guess, which is good.
Yeah. So, but that's out April 7th. It's like the worst kept secret in the industry because everybody knew it was going to come out eventually. But I'm glad that finally got announced. And then our Our final news story. How much do you know about this PSN rebranding where they're going to just remove the PSN name?
That anymore for some stupid, like, who cares?
It seems stupid.
Like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Point,
it's been named PSN since its inception.
I just don't understand.
So to rebrand it, what's the purpose?
Well, no, the point is, like, they're not even like rebranding it either. They're just like, it's just going away.
Yeah.
It's not even like a rebrand. It's just, it's not going to exist anymore.
It just says PlayStation.
They haven't said. That's the thing. They have not come out and said what it's going to be called now. They're just removing the PSN
like the branding,
brand name. Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
They want to have that done by September, I think, from what they were saying. So, but it's an odd choice at this point. It would be like not calling Xbox Live anymore.
Yeah, I just don't.
Like, you know, we're going 20, 25 years there of the same thing. I don't know why you would change it. So, unless they're going to not call the PS6 the PlayStation 6.
Is it just the PlayStation at that point?
I was going to say the exact same thing, Dan.
Could be.
There you go.
Just it's all.
We said for a long time back when they were naming the Xbox One and then the Xbox One X, then we got to these series systems. They should just call it the Xbox and be done with it.
This is a PlayStation.
Stupid. I still hate
this
that.
This is a PlayStation.
Yeah. There you go. The true
Everything
marketing
is
behind
PlayStation.
It. Maybe they'll hire
But the game recommendations for the week, I'm going to pick Retro Rewind. I definitely, it fulfills, you know, the itch that we've had for a long time here of having a VHS simulator, rental simulator. And I just think it's an excellent one of, I don't think it's just a good for what it is, but I also think it's a really good simulator game. Yeah, I've played a lot of them.
Yeah, you have.
So I can tell you what ones are good and what ones aren't very good. And I think this is a very good one, and it's highly worth your time if you are into those types of games. How about you, Dan?
So I picked one. It just recently popped up on like the PlayStation Premium thing because they put up those like PSP games and stuff. They put up Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, which is the PSP version of Tekken 5, which is somehow the best version of that game. They've done it before. I think they even put it like on PS3 back in the day because it was a PSP version of the game. But it was the first one. It added like extra characters and stuff. Like it's just a really fucking good like Tekken like fighting game. It's not. The only bummer is there's no trophies because you know they add some to some games and some not to others. I would have loved
something they could add later.
Yeah, they've done that before. Where they've
done that with other.
Okay. So I wish they would do that in the future, but it's still a really fucking good like Tekken fight.
Yeah.
Game. So that's a good one. If you've never played it before, it's a really good version of that.
I'll say Rampage. Like I put Rampage, the original, the NES version, because it's probably one of my favorite. But I feel like any Rampage game I've played, I've just had fun. Like it's you get to destroy buildings as a King Kong, Godzilla. Whatever they decide to put in the game, I had fun with it. Like, I mean, you can find Rampage was on everything. I think up until the 360 PS3.
They made there was definitely Cube versions, PS2 versions, Xbox versions.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like you can find them anywhere for.
It's probably, cheap, if not a version of it on Steam solo, it's probably part of some sort of collection thing. Or something.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like it's just been an overall great game to play when I haven't wanted to do anything else except destroy buildings. So give it a shot.
We can kick over to the movies and TVs. I have not watched much. I don't think I've watched any. Well, I will say I didn't put it on here. There was one movie I watched in between the last time we recorded, and it was the one that you had watched, Dan. The one with was it Fred Savage?
Oh, that was me.
I was gonna say I don't know.
Okay, yeah, you weren't here, Dan. So there's a movie from the 90s that I probably saw at some point in the 90s, but I think didn't we determine it's a Lifetime original?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It has Nobody Will Tell or something. What is it called? Something like that.
No One Would Tell. It had
No One Would Tell.
Candace Cameron from Full House and Fred Savage.
Oh shit! I probably watched it back then.
Dude.
Well, it very clearly is a movie that they would have shown in school.
Okay.
Because it plays like one of those where it's like he's an abusive boyfriend.
I have seen this.
Okay.
Yes.
It's pretty wild. It is a 90s ass movie. Like, it's one of those movies, and I could tell, like, maybe 20 minutes in, it's one of those movies where, like, music, like, background music just doesn't
all right,
stop.
I'm looking at it. Yes, I have
It is
seen
just
this.
like 90s, like, generic 90s radio song to the next generic 90s. Like, it's constantly playing some sort of song in the background.
It was on NBC.
It's on YouTube.
It wasn't even a Lifetime movie.
I told you it was
Oh,
on
it was
YouTube.
on NBC. Okay.
Yeah. So
It very clearly, because it has that, like, when the movie's over, it has that, like, preach at the audience moment
kind of shit.
Yeah, very much.
And this is the kind of thing, like, they used to run these kind of movies all the time. It'd be like movie of the week type shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was a big deal because it would get famous people to be in these movies. So I watched them all.
The reason I watched it was because it popped up on my TikTok, and it was just like a clip of Fred Savage and Candace Cameron, and I was like, "Wait a second, they did a movie?
They remade it for Lifetime 8 years ago.
Nah, it was garbage. I ain't worried about that garbage. Okay. I'm worried about this one with Fred Savage and Candace Cameron. That thing was lit.
Yes, he's a wrestler. Well, like, oh my god, yes, I remember this.
The part of it that's crazy to me is, like, so I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about it going in, other than as I was watching, like, it feels like something I probably watched back at that time. So I probably did see it. But the thing that got me that I didn't realize is, like, as you're watching, I'm like, oh, he's just going to ramp up and be more and more abusive. I didn't expect him to fucking kill and slit her throat. Like, that's what fucked my mind. Like, at the end of that movie, like, he just went for that.
Well, it's a real story. It's
Lake. I'm like, oh shit! Like, this got dark, like, really dark.
It's inspired by a true story.
I believe it's inspired by a true story. Yeah.
Which is why they would have made the movie, and which is why they would have told you at the end, like, please call if something's happening.
Yep.
Oh, it is. So, like, the end of that movie is, like, they're in a courtroom because they convict him of murder, and then it's the judge that has that, because that's where the title of the movie comes. She's like, "How many of you in this room knew about this, and none of you would tell anyone?"
Yeah.
And that's your preachy moment. So,
got him.
Solid movie.
So good.
Pretty dark.
God, I used to watch all of that shit back then.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, fuck.
That's where I watched it.
Maybe I should watch it.
It's literally just on. I think it is on, like, the Lifetime channel on YouTube
probably.
or something. That's so. The funny thing is, when it was done, and I should go back, it had other ones.
Oh yeah,
and I should have marked them, because there were clearly other ones that are, like, of that era. It's very similar and adjacent.
I might have to go through this rabbit hole then.
Yeah.
So you need to go down that rabbit hole. I think that's the only movie I've watched. I'm still doing the one episode of Twin Peaks a day. I'm almost done with season 2 of that. I've decided when I'm done with Twin Peaks, I'm going to do one a day. And this is going to take me forever, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit to it.
No, don't say it.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Dark Shadows?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, you'd be dead.
If I did Dark Shadows, I'll be dead. I won't live to the end of that.
That's like
that is 1,200 episodes. Yeah. No. Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, that's good.
I'm going to do Murder, She Wrote. I think I'm going to buy that box set. I think I'm going to buy that box set.
If you're going to do one a day, if you're going to do one a day specifically for this, that's a great. That's a
good one a day
thing to own, to do one a day.
Yeah, well, that's been the fun with Twin Peaks. Is, like, I have my box set. I pop the disc in. Each disc has 4 episodes. It also has there is one movie, but then there's also, and I forgot about this, they spliced together all the footage that wasn't used into kind of a movie.
That's interesting.
From the original show, and it's called The Missing Pieces. So, so I'll have that in between watching seasons 2 and 3. So, it'll probably be like mid-April when I'm done with that. So I got a little bit of time. There's supposed to be some big sale on Amazon, I think, this week, like a spring sale or something. So I'm going to see if that Murder, She Wrote thing drops anymore.
Yeah, that would be a good one to own, and then, if that's the project you're going to do.
That's why I'm like, like, I do have it all on the server and stuff, but, like, I kind of want to own this box set. So, and I think even right now it's at 135, but I think at 135 for 12 seasons and 4 fucking movies, that's not a bad
That's a
deal.
lot of fucking Murder, She Wrote.
It's a lot of Murder, She Wrote, but, like, I'm going to wait and just see if it drops any more at the end of this week. But I think I'm going to do it.
You should.
But that's the next thing I'm going to do after. I was like, I kind of enjoy this, like, one a day. Like, it's been the perfect way to watch Twin Peaks, like I said, because there's so many plot lines and so many things going on in that fucking show with that town that I've kind of forgotten. Like, there's a lot to it. and watching just one episode a day gets you to kind of think about and take in all of that versus just binging the entire thing. And it's been 9 years since I rewatched all that, because when that return season happened, like that summer, and that was an entire summer, I watched all that, and then immediately with my wife now, I rewatched all of it with her, because she did not watch it week to week when it was airing on Showtime or whatever it was on. So, but then she, like, I think I said last time we recorded, but like she found out maybe like 2 weeks later that she's like, "You're doing that once a day. I want to watch that." I was like, I'll probably have to rewatch that next year, but that's fine. She's like, I want to rewatch that. So, the only other thing that I've watched is we actually plowed through Fallout Season 2.
I haven't even started it
in
yet.
like 2 sittings.
Yeah.
I think I like it more than the first season.
I mean, that's saying a lot, because that first season is real fucking
yeah.
They improve the Maximus character a lot.
That's good.
And his storyline, because I felt like he was the weakest character of the 3
He was.
in the first season. There are some good setups for what season 3 is going to be. They do a really good. It's not a spoiler to tell you Mr. House is in this season because he's in the trailers.
Yeah.
They do a really good job with him and his character and bringing that in. They do a lot with the Ghoul and his character and his backstory. A lot more with it here. The plot line that is going on, and that was the fun part of it too, is like, obviously I'm watching Twin Peaks and then I'm watching this, and Kyle MacLachlan's in both.
Right.
But this show does one of those weird CG de-aging of that character. So you see him younger in Fallout, and like I'm rewatching Twin Peaks. I know what he looks like younger. He does not look like that on Fallout younger. Like so that kind of throws me a little bit. But I think overall it's a tremendous season of that show. I think it's better than the first season. So, and it sets it up in an interesting way. What her dad is doing, and I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't watched it yet, but his whole storyline, what he's actually doing, is really fucking dark and comedic, like darkly comedic, like that show does very well. So, very good. You should watch it.
Yeah, I know. I will. I just haven't gotten.
It literally took us like 2 nights to plow through that. Like it went very fast. So. And then the other thing, and then we can both talk about it, because Matt, you've seen it too, but there was finally, and I'll read so we saved this email for you from last time,
right.
And then it's funny.
So it was relevant then, yeah.
I'll read it real quick, but Grady from Houston, Texas. Hey all, you guys love to talk movies as well as games. I just have one simple question. Where's that Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer? This movie comes out before Doomsday and in roughly 4 months. How have we not gotten a trailer for it yet? You think Marvel will want to really crank up the hype train? Well, they cranked up the hype train since we got that email. We have a trailer. They did that really, really fucking stupid marketing thing awful. Where it was like, we're going to do something that's never been done. Like, just put
There's a reason nobody's ever done this before. It's because it's fucking dumb.
Because it's dumb as hell.
Releasing 4-second clips on different accounts across the world, across time. Nobody gives a shit, dude. We just want to see the trailer.
I think it's a good trailer in the sense of you still can't put together what's exactly going on in the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of touches of like they're borrowing from a lot of stuff. Like, as a Spider-Man fan who's read a lot of the stories, they're borrowing from a ton of stuff. Like people seem to think it's Man Spider, and like there's a way it could be. I think that's too far. Of like I don't think we're doing
making
him grow the arms and all that kind of stuff is a bit much, but there's hints at it. I told you, like it's pulling elements from a story I really like called The Other, which involves like that part where he's like in that cocoon upside down. That's pretty much ripped straight from that. That's a storyline where like he gains new powers and sheds his skin, and they talk about that in this. So like I feel like they're stealing from that. I mean, obviously, like we see Scorpion and Tarantula and Boomerang. So there's a lot of guys.
We're finally making good on that guy becoming Scorpion, which I like.
We could also be going the Fantastic Four route, where this movie's. It's been 4 years between this movie and the last one, so he obviously was doing things. So they could do the Fantastic Four thing, where they show clips of like he fought Tarantula. Here's that fight. He fought Boomerang.
Yeah,
here's that fight. Because those aren't guys that are big enough necessarily to like. Just put it in the movie and do it. Like Scorpion's big enough. The Hand is big enough. We've got Punisher and
like
Hulk.
the hand is.
Yeah.
It seems like the hand is a big element of the movie,
right? And if it is, then that could lead to
it's
this.
Also,
like
you have Punisher there.
Well, and that could also lead to Daredevil's in it too, if it were for truly doing the hand. There's a lot. Like I think there's a lot of little things that I think they're putting into this. Like and like you said, the trailer doesn't do too much to give it away. Obviously, there's some kind of like mind hopping entity going around.
Well, that's why kids think that Stranger Things girl is Jean Grey.
That's bullshit to me. That makes no sense.
I know you're.
Why would it be Jean Grey? They're gonna put the Fox X-Men in Doomsday, so
it doesn't make sense to introduce
why put in a different
MCU version of her now?
No, and why in a Spider-Man movie? Why?
Yeah,
I think it makes more sense if it's more something like a demon or like Mephisto or something related to that. Even though they did him in the Ironheart thing, like this is a way to bring him back because then that ties into the comic storyline One More Day where he made a deal with him to make everybody forget instead of Doctor Strange doing it. Like they've done spins on everything else, but like this is a way we could like tie more stuff into the comics. I told you another cool thing is like I didn't know Hulk was in this. Like obviously it's Bruce. But I told you in the comics when everyone forgot, Bruce forgot, but Hulk didn't. Okay. That was like a thing where like the Hulk still remembered it because he's a different person. So they could. There's a lot of stuff they could do. And it's another one of those things where like, this is a good trailer. This is enough. Please don't show anymore.
You know how they are though.
Don't show her. Don't show her. There's no reason to show her. There's no possible benefit to ruining who that character is before the movie starts. You have the most watched trailer of anything ever. It beat GTA 6. You don't need to say another fucking word. The movie also comes out in like 4 months.
They don't need to put out another trailer. I don't think they do.
I think this trailer was fantastic.
It does exactly what it has to do. It moves everything forward. It shows where his life is. It shows where their lives are. Let's keep going. I think if they ruin who she is before that movie starts, that's a huge fucking mistake. Save anything. And like they're clearly cutting people out of the trailer. Like that scene where he shot
that shot I showed you.
Daredevil's in the shot. Like, I'm sorry, he just is. And they keep talking about like he's like, I'm not in the movie. It's like, yeah, because you can't say you're in the movie, dumbass. Like
he said the same thing before the last one.
Exactly.
He was in as a cameo. They've already established him on screen in this universe.
He was in London while they were filming this movie.
Yeah, he was there.
Sorry, dude. Like, unless you're popping in to say hello, you're in the fucking movie.
Well, my understanding too is that this Punisher like special that guy did is supposed to tie in why he's now there.
Oh,
when they're going to put that out in like May or June or something, like coming up. So, which is exciting as well.
And that's the thing is like I feel like that could be its own other like mini part of the movie. Like obviously, a big part of Spider-Man is he has all these different adventures. They don't all have to be 2.5 hours. They could be 15 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Scorpion's a big bad. I feel like whoever the mind-hopping demon thing is the other.
I kind of hope that Scorpion is because I think that guy. I think they need to do that justice, not just for that actor,
right?
Because I've wanted that since they, showed that like this is the guy that's going to become Scorpion, in Homecoming.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah. So like, I like that it's still that actor. And I would like them to do that because we haven't we haven't really gotten a good. I don't think we haven't got Scorpion like a good version of him live action, have we?
Never.
No. I was gonna say they didn't do him in The Amazing. They did.
I think he was in part of the plan for that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, because remember at the end of that movie they showed like the octopus arms and the other thing like on those little cases at the bottom. He was probably planned for that. But I love Scorpion. I can't wait to see that. I hope they do it the funny route where like Jameson's involved in it and we get more of him in it because he was part of it. But there's a lot of like cryptic shots in the trailer, which is all I want. I don't want anything else. But
they don't need to.
They'll ruin something. Yeah. They will.
They will.
Of
they
course.
Won't be able.
They can't help.
It'll either be. Well, it's either going to be.
It'll be in a different country.
Proxy.
It'll be like Brazil has a different trailer and it just shows her dressed up as Jean Grey. Like,
well, the other thing you have to remember too is they will obviously have merchandise and they'll have toys and stuff. So all it's going to take is, here's the Jean Grey toy or something.
Here's the new Marvel Legends Jean Grey pack, and it'll be her from the movie, and you're like, great.
Yeah.
My other thought was too is like, because there was some rumor going around before that like she's some other character, right? Siddhartha or something like that. Where
I saw that one.
But if that's like a mind possessing person, then she could be that person. And she could be somebody else. Okay. You know what I mean? So, like, let's say she's possessed by this person throughout the whole movie, and we don't really get a sense of who she is. And then at the end, Spider-Man banishes the demon to hell or whatever the fuck happens. And she goes, "Oh, thanks for saving me. I'm Felicia Hardy," or something like that. And like, bam, there's the Black Cat for whatever the fuck the last one. I still feel like we're gonna get. Obviously, he's gonna be in Secret Wars.
Yeah,
he'll be teased at the end of Doomsday, and then I still feel like we'll get like one more to wrap everything up, because obviously this isn't the wrap up movie. This is too much. It's not. So I think we'll get one more to wrap his character and then be done. And my thought would be he's in Secret Wars, he gets the symbiote suit, and then they wrap it up with the Venom bullshit, how they want to do it in their universe. Which, because, you know, we've already pretty much erased the fact that Venom came over for 30 seconds and then left.
Pretty much. Yeah. What else have you watched?
Slop TV, because all the shows are back. Really, the only one I'll take even a moment to talk about, because I'm watching that like High Potential and Doc and all that kind of stuff. The Rookie. I want to talk about The Rookie just because it's getting somehow crazier. There is a fucking zombie episode, and I'm not joking. What? I'm not joking. Like, they go to, so last season or earlier this season, everything bleeds together. They caught some guy at some like abandoned hospital who's a serial killer, right? And they're like, okay, well, we don't go back there, whatever. But then they get a call to go back there because these group of people are like remediating it or whatever, like getting stuff out. It turns out they're exposed to some kind of crazy ass fucking chemical in this abandoned hospital, and it turns out they've all basically become fucking zombies. So it becomes a zombie horror episode where they're getting chased around this complex, and of course there's no cell service and all this other like horse shit about it. And they're doing their best they can to like not kill any of these people because they're like clearly out of their minds. And then it gets to a point where at the end she's fighting a guy in a sewer tunnel, the main girl. Okay. And then another guy shows up and tries to stab her, and she basically turns and kills him with it. So now we've got to deal with a half season of her trauma. You know, this is a chick who's been buried alive in a fucking barrel. And she's already to deal with that. And now she killed a guy who tried to kill her. And luckily they seem to try to be wrapping that up pretty fast, because the last episode, the guy's like sister came to the thing, was like, "Why'd you kill him? I'm sad." And then and they're like, "You can't talk to her. You can't talk to her." And then she's like, "I'm going to talk to her anyway." And then she talks to her and goes, he tried. And then she basically just tells her, like, "He tried to kill me." Like, yeah, I get, like, your brother wasn't like that, and maybe he didn't deserve to die or whatever. He tried to fucking kill her. So yeah, she's going to turn the knife on him, dude. Like, come on. Like, I get that you're upset that she killed your brother, but they established that they've already told her what happened. That he was out of his mind. And then she still wants answers, even though there's going to be like a hearing and a trial. I understand that part. We have body cam footage of your brother trying to murder her. So what do you... Oh, you're right. I should have just let him fucking kill me? I don't... Like, this is stupid as fuck. It's not how the real world works. They would never... the police department would never in a million years allow her to talk to this woman. At all. And in 2026... No fucking way. And then keep in mind, this is also like maybe a month after a fucking bomb went off in this building.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was the bomb thing you tell me about.
If you look at it, I couldn't tell you that happened. They just ignore that it happened. It looks pristine. And then of course the serial killer guy gets off because a different serial killer says he was lying about the other guy being a serial killer. So now we're going to drag this shit out until the end of this season. And like, I love Slop TV. I absolutely fucking love it. But it's at this point, I'm watching The Rookie to see how far it's willing to take itself, because it is
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was a show about like actual police work. And now it is the complete opposite. Never mind that his wife now works in the fucking Pentagon and somehow is now being tracked down by some kind of like mysterious death gang who has ties to some other guy in LA. What a coincidence. Like the whole thing is just like fucking crazy. But man, I love Slop TV. I love it so much. And then the last thing I watched is, thanks to your help, I'm now back on the Detective Conan journey.
Yeah.
We finally just decided, all right, I'm going to give you what I have to upload so that I can watch it in an easier way to try to get caught up to where Crunchyroll starts. So, which is at like 700 something. So I am now through 140 episodes and 3 movies. So I've only got almost 600 to watch before I can just subscribe to Crunchyroll and watch the rest.
That's crazy.
It's so like, I love the show. It's so fucking much. And the worst part is like giving them to you to upload was great and it's helping, but because it has like the library of it is built into Plex, so it can like it knows what they are and it learns. It's fucked some of them up though, and like they're out of order.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either because we're brute forcing this on there. Because these are files I've had for over 20 years. Like,
well, they're AVIs.
Yeah. Oh no, these are episodes from 1999, brother. Like these are fucking old video files.
Are they like VHS scans? Do you think?
I don't even know where they came from. To be fair, like these are raw things that people translated online and then encoded and then uploaded. So they were probably. You're right. There were probably like tapes or just 480p broadcasts. And at the time, we're talking 2005 and 6 is when I was getting most of these. And even that, these are episodes from 5 years before that. The quality of them was shit. Unless you watched it the day it released on TV. So, I don't even know how long it's going to take for this show to turn into 16:9, but it's probably going to be another 15 years. But no, it's fun. It's fun to just have an easy way to watch it and get caught up. I mean, like you with Dark Shadows, there's like 1,200 episodes of this fucking show.
I haven't put Dark Shadows on the server yet, just because that is something I probably have to manually do.
Yeah, I have a watch list
1,200
of like the order, so I'm just going to give you them in batches. Luckily, since they're AVI files from 20 years ago, they're very small. Like they're
well, when I was rewatching Dark Shadows, because the only reason I stopped is because that was all on Prime Video, and when I say all of it, it was because the thing you have to remember about that show is that show didn't start as what it was. The first like 200 episodes of that show is just a straight up soap opera. They did not introduce like Barnabas or any of the supernatural stuff until around episode 200. So those early like 200 episodes I have not seen. And they were not on Prime Video at the time. But I had watched like I was in like the 800s, I think, 8, 9, somewhere around there. But then it all got pulled off of Amazon.
Yeah,
that was why.
My other roadblock. My other roadblock is there are every so often there are filler episodes because it's an anime and they just do that.
Yeah,
I'm missing some here and there, and finding individual episodes is damn near impossible. Finding individual filler episodes is impossible. So I have to go to one of those sketchy, you can watch anime on this site for free websites to fill in the couple blanks. Okay. But the funny part is how I do that is I use the internet browser on my Xbox to go to that thing. So it doesn't risk, like, they can't virus my Xbox. It's not built to do that. And if they did, oh well. So every so often I'll have to go watch 2 episodes or something on this thing until I get to about 550, and then I don't have anything from 550 to then. So by the time I reach that, I need to try to find some kind of torrent that has the stuff in the middle and grab that. But we'll see. But that's it for me.
By you, Matt.
So I watched Scream 7.
I'm not a fan. Like I'm not a Scream person. Like I've seen the original one when it roughly around the time it came out, I've not watched any of the other ones. I think I've read the wikis of them.
That's all.
I think that original movie is fine.
I like the first 3.
Okay.
I will agree. I'm more of a fan of the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't mind 5 and 6.
Okay.
Because it strayed away from Sydney and that whole thing, and it had like a whole different like arc to it.
But that's the whole point of this one is they brought her back, right?
They didn't need to.
Okay.
So first off, the weird thing about this is Sydney ends up having 3 kids. Okay. The oldest one is named Tatum after her, from Scream 1, her friend that died. But then she has 2 other kids who are like younger, and then like there's like a snippet of them being video called in the movie, and then they're never seen from again.
Well, we can't murder kids. Only teenagers.
Of course, makes sense.
Yeah,
only teenagers. So it makes sense. I will say I liked the way they used. I like the way they brought Stu back into this movie to kind of make him like the villain in a way. I thought that was really clever. The people who are shown to be Ghostface really don't make any sense to me. Like, I don't really get, like, they explain their whole story.
Motivations, yeah.
But when you're coming from watching Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, where all of those killers have some kind of backstory to how they really got to know
tied into it. Yeah.
This one really doesn't. And I guess I can understand why they went that route. But then in the same way, I don't understand why they went that route. So essentially what it is that the girl, Sydney's daughter, Tatum, is like, I think she's like 17, essentially. And her and Sydney have like, bickering fights and arguments because Tatum wants to know more about her mom's history. Her mom essentially is like, I don't want to talk about it, which, I mean, come on. She ain't got the easiest life. But it's like, it makes sense that she kind of wants to know about what happened from her mom, because you could read all this stuff online and you can watch the stab movies per se, but they're not from Sydney's point of view, essentially. You're watching it from outsiders kind of seeing what happens. So essentially that's what it is. It's a movie where Tatum is trying to figure out more about her mom, and her mom by the end of the movie finally is ready to accept and like explain her life. You know what I mean? So I guess at this point in time, if they decide to, I'm not going to say kill off Sydney, but if they decide to get rid of her as a character and I guess move forward with Tatum being the main character moving forward, I guess the killers make sense, because then they can have a backstory as to how the next set of killers arranged, because of Tatum. I will say that there was some interesting kills in this movie.
And that's about it.
That's really it.
Yeah,
that's really it. I really feel like, and I know why they ended up, the girls from 5 and 6 didn't redo 7 because they had a falling out with the studio.
Yeah.
And I understand that viewpoint, but again, man, like 4 was not really that great. I wasn't huge on Scream 3, but I liked the first 2. I thought they were really good. But I really enjoyed how 5 and 6 kind of gave you new characters with the same kind of backstory. And this one didn't really do that. So it's kind of like,
Well, I don't think these movies are going away, because wasn't this the most successful one at the box office?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw.
That's what I saw. But I mean, and like I said, I guess if they go because my thing is, it's like at this point in time, as a killer, you got to stop chasing Sydney because apparently you're not successful. And at this point, you need to find something else to do. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. I'm going to continue watching these because, I'm here now. I kind of it's like the Terrifier movies for me. I've done so much work. I just have to keep seeing it through to see what happens.
Where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll watch it and we'll watch the next one and see what's up. But after this one, I don't really see where they're going anymore. So we'll see. That's really it, though. That's all I've watched.
I will say, I think this week, so the next time we record, I'm going to watch that Send Help movie.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Raimi one. That's finally up this coming week. So
yeah,
that I look forward to watching. So, and then I think, because we're the 22nd.
Should be
possibly be able to talk about Mario, depending on when we record, because that's coming.
That's April 1st,
yeah. I was gonna say, I would assume you will have seen it, Dan.
Probably.
So, and I will be going one of those days that week. So I'm excited to see that. You know what? I didn't even watch the most recent trailer they put. I don't need to see it. It's another one.
It's
Mario movie, dude. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Do you think it's crazy that it's Donald Glover doing the voice of Yoshi? Because I would have never guessed that, but I
don't give a shit.
That's fine. It's like the Vin Diesel.
The first one was good. I never needed to know a single thing about the second one. It's fine.
Not at all.
I mean, you already know it's based on Mario, or they're pulling elements from Mario Galaxy, which is
that's fine. Give me Star Fox. I
haven't really played, so that's what's interesting.
Well, hey man, what we need to do
is
turn him into Paper Mario for the third movie.
Oh, there you go. That would actually be interesting for them to do, but I don't think they could do it for an entire
thing. No, there would have to be a thing where it's like the next one is like multiverse or something, and he goes to like a Paper Mario verse and like a Mario RPG verse where it's like isometric and all that kind of stuff. And that would have to be like a very quick, like he's there for like 15 seconds kind of a thing. You couldn't like have a whole thing going on.
Oh no! Yeah, no, if he goes to Super Mario Land, he better hang out with Gino and Mallow.
It would just be like little Easter egg things. Like
that's all I need.
I can see it. We can kick over to emails. We got a couple here. I probably should have read this one earlier, but I'll read it now. Casey from Atlanta, Georgia. Howdy, 572 crew. Any of y'all playing Crimson Desert? What do you think about the reviews being all over the place on this game? Seems like it's a game that some really like and some really hate. I'm still on the fence about getting it. I mean, and I think the reviews being all over the place are exactly 100% honest on the game. Because it is one of those, like, you're either going to like it or you're not going to like it games, at least from the little bit that I've played. And I could totally understand, like I said, the IGN, like when that review hit and I saw that at first, I laughed. But now that I've played enough of the game, I can totally see why somebody would give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where everything about it was an overpromise. Even if it delivered on 75% of the stuff, it's still an overpromise of a game. Mm-hmm. And with those kind of games before they come out, you never quite know what it's going to be, but you know it's never going to be what it says it is. So you kind of have to take a lot of it with a grain of salt, and that's okay with some video games, but for something like this where it was just like we've been talking about it for years, but you never really knew what it was, and then it was every other game in one. It's like it can't possibly be what it is.
Yeah, no. So, and I like I said, I understand the 6 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. So as I'm playing it hasn't really diminished the enjoyment I've gotten out of it thus far, but I can see through all of the cracks in the game. Go, okay, I see they're trying to pull too many elements in, and it becomes a mess because of that. So, but again, next time we record, I'll have more to say because I'll definitely be a lot deeper into the game at that point. Henry from Sacramento, California. Hey, dudes, with the rumor mill continuing to burn hot for Project Helix, do you think there's any possible way Sony's next console could come in at a considerably lower price? This is, of course, if rumors are true and the new Xbox is something that's over $1,000. Follow up, do you think anyone is even going to be accepting of this I think he meant these ridiculous prices? I feel like we get this question every week.
I bet you the next PlayStation is $800.
I don't think that. I think that the next Xbox will be more expensive than the PlayStation.
Definitely, for sure.
I like because every once in a while IGN puts out those like opinion articles, and they put out one the other day, and I didn't read the article, but I read the headline and I agreed. And the headline was just simply, "Man, I hope the PS6 is just a fucking PlayStation or whatever." Yeah. It's like that's all it needs to be. It's just be the next PlayStation, not trying to be a PC as well, not trying to do all these other different
they're backing off of PC stuff. They are
that's the interesting part on their side is like instead
they're trying
of
to just consolidate it all to the PlayStation, which is fine. Just make a PlayStation and make me have to buy the PlayStation to play PlayStation games. That's all I'm asking you to do. But I do feel like this next one will probably start at 8.
I think so, because that's roughly where the Pro is. We've talked about it before where I don't agree with it or like the fact that you'll probably have to buy a disc drive separately, but that's probably what
if there even is one, it's separate. Yeah.
I think of the two, for the Xbox, I'd say absolutely
that's
not.
gone.
They're not going to put any kind of drive in the next system. I think the PS6, I think you get one more generation, but I think it is a total, you have to buy that.
It's an option.
They're not going to put it in. It's an option. But I think that this would probably be the last generation that they offer a disc drive as well.
For sure.
Agreed.
But the Xbox, there's no way. There's no way. I for whatever reason, I was in 2 different Walmarts this weekend. Only one of the 2 Walmarts that I went in, because I went in the electronics section for both of them, only one of the 2 even had a physical like games portion of Xbox stuff.
Oh yeah,
the other one I went into, it's just all POSA cards and controllers and the system
and copies of The Sims for PC.
There you go. Or if you're going to find any kind of physical Xbox games, they're in the clearance section with the other clearance games. That's it. Surprisingly, the other Walmart I went in actually had like it was the smallest like 4-foot glass section you probably ever seen. But they actually did have one for physical Xbox games. But they're done. They're done with it.
It's over.
Like most retail stores you go in, they don't have any physical Xbox games anymore. It's just the POSA cards. So, next email we have comes to us from Blake from Honolulu, Hawaii. I think that's the first email we've ever got from
Sounds
Hawaii,
like it, yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It's pretty dope.
I don't remember. Hey guys, love the podcast. Been listening for over a year now. Curious, I don't know if this has been asked before. What is a franchise that you personally love, but most people just don't? Or maybe a bad game you are just an apologist for? Thanks. So when we picked some good ones.
I didn't. Yeah, there's not necessarily like a franchise I love that people don't like, but like I definitely have games I will defend, even though
games within franchises, for sure,
weaker versions of the franchise, for sure.
Well, and like that's how I kick off my list. Is like I put Castlevania on here, but specifically the Lords of Shadow games, and I know that. I think there are people that like the first one, but they don't like the second one. And I completely understand, like, after the first one, like, the second one is not nearly as good. But I really like both those games. I do remember at the time it came out, I was really into it, but I understand a lot of people just considered it a God of War clone. So, whereas at the time, I thought it was better than the God of War games, but that was me. That's your hot take. I thought it was better than those early God of War games. Deadly Premonition. Deadly Premonition is probably the closest anybody will ever get to a Twin Peaks video game. That game is like and I'm talking the first one specifically. That game is like horrendous to play. Oh, yeah. It looks just god awful. The controls are wacky. But it has enough charm and fun there that it is just a blast to play through at the same time if you're willing to give it a chance. I think a lot of people look at that game, look at the graphics, and go, I'm out. A recent example, which we've talked at length on the podcast a couple times, would be Mind's Eye.
Yeah.
Mind's Eye, and again, like I would say that and I would preface that by saying it's also the perfect length. If that game was any longer than it is, it would fall apart.
It is, but I mean, it's a narrative mess. At parts, it's a gameplay
Very
mess.
Big mess.
It's a user interface mess.
Yes.
It's a physics mess. Like, it's just like everything about that game is a mess. But at the same time, like, I genuinely enjoyed playing that game.
Time with it.
Like, it's so dumb, but it takes itself seriously, but not super seriously. I don't even know how to describe it anymore. But I will defend that game, and I would kill to play another one.
I would too. I would say of games like most recently, that would be the best recent example I can give. Mm-hmm. This would be a game within a franchise. I really like Dead Rising 4. I understand. And to a lesser extent, you can throw 3 in here as well. But I understand why there is a disconnect for a lot of fans of that franchise because it got away from time element and those kind of things. But I think, especially Dead Rising 4, I think it's also a good Christmas game. Like, when do you get those? The last one I put on here is Binary Domain. I think Binary Domain is kind of a Mind's Eye of that generation, if you think about it.
Well, like, we talked about how Mind's Eye is that era of game.
Binary Domain has a really wacky twist in it that is fucking crazy, even still to this day when I think about it. But it's just a fun, like, overall game. It's also like the PC version of the game's a fucking mess too. So, like, still, they never fixed that. Because I've tried to replay it multiple times on PC, and like it's not a good version of that game. But I enjoy Binary Domain. I understand why people didn't at the time that it came out, but it's a good one to put on here. What about you, Dan? You have a good one to kick it off.
My first one, I was trying to think, like, Final Fantasy 15 is one that I will wholeheartedly defend.
I will defend it too.
I admit when it first came out that I did like it, but it definitely had problems in the beginning. And like, again, it had narrative problems. It had weird gameplay problems. It had, but there was a lot not necessarily like to get into about that game. It was confusing, especially towards the end when like there's like a time jump and like it becomes like the World of Darkness, and it's a whole fucking weird game.
I also think it was too ambitious for what those systems could do.
Yeah, it was really kind of pushing it at the time. Like it was a rough game.
Because replaying that game on like a Series X or a PS5, it runs like it
Having replayed like the Royal Edition of it a couple years ago, I think that game it's fine. It's fixed. Like it looks really good. It plays really good. The story makes more sense. Yeah, that game's just it's far better than I think people give it credit for. I think people kind of write it off because I think people write off anything post 10 just because it's cool to do that. Whereas like 13 is another game that maybe even more so. Like people hate 13 more. I think 13 is very good, and like people like to bitch and moan and complain about like it's a hallway simulator. You just run down a hallway. I argue you go play Final Fantasy X's first 10 hours again. And you tell me which of them is on a straight line, because it's both of them. Granted, 13 takes longer to get there, but it's because it's trying to tell a larger story. The story is confusing as fuck. It doesn't really make sense until the very end, and even then it's kind of like iffy. And as someone who likes the sequels a decent amount, it didn't need sequels. But I think 13 is very good. Where the fuck is the remaster? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, that's got to be next. It's the only thing left. Please make it. Perfect Dark Zero is another one I put on here. I don't know if people necessarily hated this. I feel like people played it because it was a 360 launch title and then forgot about it.
Yes. It was very forgotten after.
I think that game is a very good type of that game. Like, because like that is a very specific type of first-person shooter. But I remember having a lot of fun with that game. I remember like the co-op being very good. The multiplayer was pretty decent for a 360 launch title because it worked. Like, I didn't have any
when the 360 launched. Call of Duty 2 did not work.
It was brutal for a while,
and so we just played a lot of Perfect.
Played a lot of Perfect Heart, yeah. But I really like that game. The Bouncer's another game that I will fight people on as being a very good game. I think people write that game off too because it's like a weird short beat 'em up, but like that game, even by today's standards, still looks good. And that's a fucking PS2 game. That's a game where if they could somehow, a remaster would be incredible, but just put it on the PS2 to PS5 thing on the PlayStation. Yeah. What the fuck? The game is really good. It plays well. I've talked about it before, but like that game actually has an alternate ending after you've beaten it 3 times. Like the game changes, which is crazy. The story's insane because it's about the one chick's like a robot or some shit. But love that game. I'll defend that game forever. And then here's the real true. I'm on a hill no one else will climb on. I like Phantasy Star Online Episode 3 Card Revolution a shitload. Like I love that game.
Yeah.
It's I'm not going to pretend it's not good or you know that it's good. It's confusing as hell. The systems are crazy. The dice roll mechanic in the game is clearly rigged. If the game wants to win, it will. It just does. But there was something I've talked about. Like I love card collecting stuff in general. So like to mix that with Phantasy Star, plus you could get like Sonic themed cards if you had saves, or Billy Hatcher themed cards if you had it saved. Crazy mechanic. It was real fucking hard. That's another one of those games where like I wish there was a way to play that again, or even 1 and 2 again easily. Like if they made like a Switch 2 collection of those, and took out you could take out the online stuff, fine, just take it out, because I get that that's a pain in the ass. You know, it cost money back then.
Yeah.
That I've spent $8 a month to play Phantasy Star Online in like 2004, so that's real fucked up. But make a collection of those 3 and like on Switch or something, and take out the online. Fine, I'd love it. Yeah, it'd be great. But yeah, Phantasy Star Online Episode 3 is a game a lot of people haven't even fucking heard of, let alone love as much as I do.
Man, I feel bad now for saying this, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really love Final Fantasy VIII. And I will go down on the hill saying that's probably the best one I ever played, because it's the only one I continue to play.
I think we've talked about this before. Was that your of 7, 8, 9? That was your
that
first,
was the first one you played,
right?
Yep.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm okay with it.
No, and that's fine.
I am okay
I really feel like that is a legitimate thing that happened to people amongst those 3 games. Where,
yeah, I agree with that.
Whichever one of those you played first, I think is your favorite.
But I can remember, like, I played the demo disc for 7, and I played the demo disc for 8, and I think out of the 2, 8 just spoke to me more than 7 did. And
I mean, the front half of 8 is very, very good.
There's a lot to like in 8 in the beginning.
Good.
Yeah.
It's got that card game.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's got the Guardian Force stuff.
I just feel like that 7, I feel like maintains a level of story quality where like it's consistent and it kind of grows on itself. 8, I really feel like is very good for a while, and then at one point it just decides to explain everything away with, oh, we were all orphans at the same orphanage and we lost all our memories. And then it's just like, that explains everything, and I'm supposed to be okay with that explanation. And then it becomes about a time goddess from the future past, and you're like, all right, hang on a minute. That's where it always loses me, is when I get to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll go down on the hill saying that's a great one for me. And I've actively tried to play the other, like the 10 and so on. I've actively tried to get into it. I just can't. Just can't.
Next email we have comes to us from Brad from Dearborn, Michigan. Howdy, guys. Last episode, you guys had a very fun and interesting discussion about how Pokemon is a series that just isn't evolving enough.
Which is funny because they evolve.
I have to say, I 100% agree. It's funny because if you ask any diehard Pokemon fan, they won't even entertain having the conversation that the series has been stagnant for almost 20 years now. I think these new games announced for fall 2027 look great visually, but then I remembered that they are Pokemon games. Thanks for bringing a voice of reason.
Yeah, so I wasn't here for that, so I'll throw in that I feel exactly the same way, and I have for a very long time. Like, that series, I think most people would argue peaked at like Heart Gold and Soul Silver on the fucking DS. And like, as someone who used to play them all, that's kind of where I stopped too, because they don't change.
I stopped at Pearl and Diamond.
Yeah, and
those are the last ones I dived a lot of time.
But Pokemon, there's so many other things they could do other than make these games just be the same, but somehow function worse. Like, it's crazy to me that this is what their second most treasured franchise, third most. If you're going like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, it's those three in some order, right?
Yeah, it is. I agree with that.
But why can't they? But again, like this email and probably what you guys talk about, why can't they make them good? I don't get it.
Well, like the example, and we brought up the example before, but like look at Game Freak making this other non-Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm.
They're just letting them go wild and make
it looks like a real
something
video game.
Original. It looks like a real game. Well, and I had the same thing, and that's what we were talking about the last time when you weren't here. Is like initially, I was getting sucked in by the the tropical environments of this new one they announced, because I was like, oh, that like
Wind and Waves
looks good visually, and then I had that room. I was like, well, it is a Pokemon game. How different is it really going to be?
I think what really did it for me originally was I don't really care for the starter Pokemon. Like, they don't look like they're actually like...
You're talking about the new one they just announced?
Yeah, the new three that go into this one. They just don't look like they put any time into them.
I feel like they don't do that for any of these more recent ones, though. That it's kind of just like you have your three generic starter ones because they want you to seek out the ones that are more crazy and unique.
The thing that I don't think Nintendo understands, or Game Freak, or whoever the fuck is making these decisions, is the games don't have to look great, right? They don't have to like they don't, because they somehow can't get this correct, but they don't have to look amazing. Like, all they have to, if you made one that was pixel art style-esque of, like, let's say the late Game Boy Advance ones, like Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald and stuff, but made that for the Switch, and it played on the TV, and it was that style of kind of like a top-down thing where you just kind of went around and explored and stuff, I'd much rather play that. Yeah. Also, how have we not figured out a way to make these games properly, like, not even necessarily like co-op, but like where you're just playing online with other people, but like through the whole adventure. Like, they do these things in these new ones where it's like you go to a special area and then there's other people running around. But I always thought, like, you have this whole world of Pokemon. You've got all these different regions and stuff. Why can't that all just be one game? Imagine if there was one game and it was Pokemon Online or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Who cares? And we each started our own character. You start in the town. You pick a starter from those three. But then we can go out and hang out together and, like, go do battles and go do gyms together. And then, like, when we're done with one region, we can go to the other. Or you can start in a completely different region. Or we can, and then, like, they have all these other things in these games. There's, like, beauty contests and all this other stuff. It's like, you could do that if you want. You could raise Pokemon to sell for in-game money if you wanted. Like, no real money, because Nintendo would never do it. But you could do that. You could, there's so much other shit you could do other than just make the same fucking game again in a new place again with new Pokemon again. And then, now they can super power up. What the fuck is the point? Like, the formula is old. We're original Game Boy old, and it hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't.
Nope, not at all.
And then, like the email said, and you guys probably talked about it too, but there are people who will, like, we're talking about dying on hills for video games. There are people that will defend Pokemon till the ends of the earth.
Yes.
For games that 100%. Don't make a difference. Don't change.
No, it's ridiculous when you get to that point with that, because I feel like that's how it goes almost every time that you have that conversation with one of those people that are just diehard into it. That there's no argument to be had.
Well, and look at
them all.
Look at, like, Pokopia is the biggest one they've come out with in a while, and it's just fucking Dragon Quest Builders Pokemon. Yeah, like, it's not even a new idea. They can say it is, but it's not. It's not. Copying off of other games. Like, their last couple of new ideas were like the Arceus stuff and whatever that most people I don't think gave a shit about.
They actually tried to do something interesting with that game, and it's just, unfortunately, it was running up against hardware that couldn't handle it.
There's that problem too. Which is another reason why it makes more sense to push the graphics backwards to like very like well thought out, like original style, you can blow the game out if you do it that way. But if all these 3D environments that they can't make, that people fall through, or you can't ride your bike Pokemon across, or what the fuck they do now. Yeah, it's just like they're digging themselves deeper and deeper. But
Pokemon in the style of Link's Awakening,
perfect
for the Switch.
Why not?
Oh yeah,
there you go. Last email we have comes to us from Dale from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey, 572 crew, I have to say I 100% disagree with Resident Evil 9 being a good game. I really enjoyed 7 and 8 because they felt like a return to form after 5 and 6 derailed the franchise into complete shit territory. I was really excited to see Leon return, but what falls in that game just reminds me too much of 6. Way too heavy on action. The story is so goddamn convoluted at the end that I just couldn't help but roll my eyes the entire time I was playing that ending. I don't know, man. I just can't get behind it being a good game. Here's hoping the next one reins it back in again. I mean, I would say you can't please everyone.
No, you can't, and that's fine. And if you're, if you like a certain style of Resident Evil game, then yeah, this one's going to be different.
I will say, I said before this game came out that this was going to be polarizing for the people that like 7 and 8,
right?
Because it seems like we're going back.
Right, those are different franchises for sure. And this is more
7 pulled in a more like a largely new audience.
Well, because at the time when 7 came out, it was like
a 5-year gap.
Well, and it was also we've changed everything. Resident Evil's new again. It's fresh again. It's something different. Because, admittedly, we like 5, but 6, we both agree, went to places I did not like.
There are parts of that game that are good.
When 2/3 of the game is not entertaining, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, there are parts that are interesting. And, like, I would argue, like, the first Chris part is cool. Where you're going through, like, that, like, Chinatown market and all that kind of stuff. That part's cool. But then his stuff clearly, like, quickly loses form.
When you get to the submarine, it gets kind of wacky.
So 6 lost its way, and then 7 and 8 brought a new thing, but then they quickly went right back to, well, we're just going to remake 2, 3, and 4, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take that, and that's how we're going to make 9. So if you're on the other side of the fence, you're not going to like 9.
Well, and I think, I mean, it's very clear and very obvious why they picked Leon to be in this game after the huge success. Because the other thing people have to remember is, like, 7 and 8 were very successful games, but these remakes sold way more than those games did.
Over a longer period of time, too.
Yeah, 2, the remakes of 2 and 4 specifically. So I'm sure that was the immediate decision of, like, we need to put
4. The remake of 4 is why he's the star of 9. And the only reason he's not the star of 10 is because he was a star of 9.
Well, you, at this point, you're only going to change them out between him and Chris. Like, those are the two.
Which is dumb because
at this point.
We're wasting. I mean, although we're now at a point where, like, age is a real thing in this franchise. Like, characters have aged, and we're not just like
Leon
floating.
Is 49.
We're not floating the timeline though, where it's just like he can be the star of every game. So bringing back older people like Claire and Jill and even Cheval, which we would kill for, is starting to not make sense anymore.
Yeah.
So,
it would have been nice to see at least one other classic character show up in the game. Because there is only one, like, outside of Leon, there is only one other character that's from the previous games. That's his radio contact. But that's
which
it.
was
Like,
a good touch.
When you. No, and that was fine. That was who it needed to be, and it ties into why they have that,
why they're doing
City
it.
disease or whatever they call
whatever
it.
it is. T-virus.
I forget exactly what it's called. It's like a mutated version of the T-virus. But the outside of that, the only other mentions of other characters are when you're walking through the police station,
right?
Because you find there's a bunch of Easter eggs and stuff. But it would have been nice to see, like, an appearance from Jill or Barry or somebody else. And maybe 10 could do something with that instead of just be Chris. I mean, I feel like because
it has to be him
of
and
how
else.
Successful this game was, they are probably going to follow the same format of, like, half the game will be Chris, half the game will probably be some new character.
And right. And
they might tie that new character in, like, I applaud them for tying it into a character from Outbreak.
It's crazy.
Because that's never the direction I would have, I never would have guessed that. So, and when they first announced that game, what was it, like last July or whatever, that was the first thing, was like, wow, that seems crazy for them to do after the success of 7 and 8 to go that route. But It would be cool to see them do it. But my gut tells me, because this is how this franchise goes. This is the era that we're in now. This is what you're going to get for probably a 10 and probably an 11.
Right.
It's going to be this specific style before they go and change it again.
Or you're going to get this for 10 and then we'll try something else, but it'll be a side thing like Revelations or that kind of shit.
I also think they've learned their lesson with multiplayer at this point.
They're done with
I don't like, they've tried too many wacky things. That reverse thing was a failure. I always forget there was another thing before.
There was another one too, but yeah, they both failed big time.
Yeah. They both failed miserably. So I don't think they're going to mess with that too much anymore. So fingers are crossed that bonus mode is a Mercs mode. That's what I would like to see. It's the only thing I really felt was missing.
Well, and it's
like when I was done with the game, it was the only thing I was like, yeah, I kind of wish that was in here.
Well, there'll be a lot of fun environments for there to be Mercs mode stuff. Like you could do the hospital, you could do the police department. Like there's plenty of places you can do it.
For sure. So, but otherwise, send your emails into podcast572@gmail.com. Otherwise, we will be back in another 2 weeks with another edition of the podcast. Thank you for listening or watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Be safe.